I got the wrong time on, but it's 9 to noon. I'll change that. Welcome into the Couch Potato Sports Show. It is me, Sonny Clark, the hardest working man in sports radio, as we are here on our Sunday morning tradition that continues on into the 14th year here on the Couch Potato Sports Show. By the time Super Bowl hits, we hit 15 years of being on the air and talking sports here on the Couch Potato Sports Show. So I'm really excited about that. That's a big one. I mean, usually it's 5, then 10, and then 15. It's always nice to have the yearly ones in there, but 15 is a big one. You think about Mike and Mike. They were on air for 15 years. So, you know, it's kind of actually 16. It's either 15 or 16. It don't matter. But that being said, that's what has been going on, whether it was Blog Talk Radio. Now here we are doing the video, thanks to Cuervo. We would not be on video if it wasn't for Cuervo. Cuervo said, man, we should be doing Facebook Live. I was like, oh, okay, I guess we'll do that. Just goes to show how much I'm involved with a lot of things around here. But that being said, it is Sunday. It is that time where we go out and look at the games that are happening in week number 2. And that being said, look who is joining us. Oh yeah, I even found time to get the video back up because he just likes to watch his own work, even if it's only for the little bit of the intro, although I do find it quite funny. It is the Podfather. Good morning, Podfather. Good to see you.
Man, I'm recovering from last night, man. I was up late last night watching that Colorado State game.
I hear you. I hear you. I was up there doing that. I'm dragging a little ass myself, and also you two waiting until close to 2:00 our time to do their impromptu concert last night in Las Vegas. So right there in old downtown Las Vegas. So I stayed up and watched that too. God, I need a life. It's just like, but wait a second. We didn't get the opportunity last week to talk a little bit. How was the wrestling promotion last week? I mean, it was last Saturday. Weren't you at Sword Championship Wrestling last week?
Wasn't last week. It was a couple weeks ago.
Okay, it wasn't last week. It was a couple weeks ago. How'd that go? You guys still got your belts and everything, or did you drop one, lose one? How'd that go?
Well, let's see. Elijah still has the title.
Okay.
We have a new member of the network, Luke Justice. He's out of Arkansas.
Okay.
We
representative when you go over there.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
Gabe has had some issues with the network as of late.
I've seen.
And I mean, you've seen.
I've seen the promo. I've seen the little dissension going on there within the network between Chris and Big Gabe.
Well, I've been looking at the issue as it is, and I figured out what the problem was.
What was the problem? Because that was my question. Why are these two having problems?
The thing is that Chris just wasn't pulling his end of the tag team the way he should have been. Even though they were tag team champions, the guy who's doing the heavy work was Gabe, and he really didn't need to be doing all that kind of stuff for being the athlete that he is. So,
Gotcha.
But because Sword Championship Wrestling has decided to vacate the Sword tag team titles, because
why did they do that? Because of the
would you want me to talk, or are you going to talk over me, huh?
Well, I'll talk over you. I'm pretty good at it. So I'll help lead you here.
I don't need to be led, sir. I'm good.
And I got to ask the questions while they're on my mind, because if I don't do it when I think of it, I'll never remember.
All right, now shut the hell up. I'll tell you what happened. So, Thor and Infinite Wisdom says, "Look, we can't beat the network, so let's just take their titles away, because we do have that kind of power." So they took the titles away from us, and they have the OIWA Tag Team Gauntlet. We enter that. Now, we entered that as Chris and Gabe, but as we got closer to heading out there, I had reached a deal with Luke Justice, who had a match earlier with Elijah, and I was like, "Why don't you come join us?" come be a champion with us. So he, knowing that you can't beat me, join me, kind of thing. So
Is that what it is?
well, he hasn't beat us yet, so he joined us, and now he's
just really quick, Tom, you're in the green room. You got to close those curtains because we're getting big sunshine behind you. In case if you can hear, go ahead and go ahead. Sorry, Podfather.
So anyway, we go out there. We're the third team to go out there, and we signed a contract. Only 5 teams are going to be in this damn thing. So we defeated the team that was in the ring. We defeat your boy Justin James and his tag team partner.
Actually, he's not my. He is my boy. Yeah, I love him. But
okay, well. Anyway, he tried to choke out. Luke Justice. Got disqualified. I'm thinking, okay, well, by the fact that teams are going to cheat to beat us, we should be the champions by now, right? Now they send out the other team. We defeat them. So I'm like, we're the new OIW tag team champions. There's only 5 teams that were listed on the contract.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, here comes the Anthony Price and Jay Sosay.
The big name.
Shut up. And they come out and cheat, utilizing the referee, using the referee's discretion to say, "Oh, this is not over yet because I got Sir Moemeyer telling me no, keep this thing going." So all of a sudden, we're not prepared for them. We weren't prepared to take on them because we didn't know they were there. We knew Anthony Price had a match earlier the night where he lost. Mm-hmm. So for him to come out there and all of a sudden basically run through us at that point because we've already gone through 3 different matches.
So you're saying you should be the OIWA champions? Right now,
right? Okay. But once again, that's not what people the OIWA want. So
so it is what it is, right?
Fine, whatever. But here's saying, the next show is going to be on, I believe it's October 7th, I believe. And it's a road to Sorcade, so I'm looking forward to seeing what we're going to do with that.
Cool.
I do like how we're mentioned on the poster. You get this guy, the network, and many more. So I mean, that's kind of how we're being advertised. So
a little bit of happiness. Now that being said, he's folks can't see the green room, but Tom's trying to get this thing perfect, and I think. I don't know, but we're going to go ahead and bring him on in anyway. Mr. Tom Hacker. Wait, I guess I have to push the button to bring him in.
Hey, what's up, people? What's up, people?
Good to see you, man. How about your Dallas Cowboys? I mean, my God, 40-0 Monday Night Football. I mean, or Sunday Night Football. I mean, you. I mean, are you? And by the way, you're wearing the hat of the team that lost last night.
I don't want to hear it, Sonny. I don't want to hear it. Honestly, if I could talk college football for a second, I don't understand.
Yeah, you can. My team, Cuervo's already gave me a warning. He's got something to say when he comes in. So I'm just kind of wondering if it has anything to do with yesterday's performance.
Well, the thing is that Tennessee does this every stinking year. It seems like every coach has the same recycled thing. It's almost like the Dallas Cowboys with their quarterback stuff, right? The people have such blind faith in we're going to go with this guy, despite the fact Joe Milton of Tennessee, University of Tennessee, the dude, everybody talks about his arm. Oh, he can throw. He's got a rocket for. He can throw 90 yards. I don't care if he can throw 90 yards. Can he throw 40 yards down the field without overthrowing his receiver by 10? I get so sick of this crap. And it's the same day. Yet last year we had a good quarterback. We almost went all the way. So, but this year we're not going to beat anybody good because Milton can't throw a damn pass, and they need to bench him. It's. By the way, I want to say something about the Cowboys too before we get started here. I did a little research. I'm trying to get better research. Dak Prescott, out of the 35 or something quarterbacks that played last week, his overall stat line, he is 26th in the NFL right now. 26. So I said that they were going to lose because of Dak. Now let me tell you something. Dallas Cowboys defense is going to bully everybody this year. Everybody.
I'm telling you, so far they showed that they came to play.
And I don't know if Zach will. I don't know if the Jets have picked up anybody yet, but I feel bad for Zach Wilson because that poor kid is just going to get slung around like a rag doll today. That offensive line, brother. It don't matter if Aaron Rodgers got hurt on the fourth play or not. He wasn't lasting the whole season. Not with that line was terrible. That line was atrocious, bro.
Yeah. So it should be interesting to see how that plays out because that is a big story, obviously, in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers going down on play number 4. The old Achilles thing puts him out for the year.
He had 5 snaps.
Yeah.
He had
5 snaps.
4 under center, and one was Achilles snap.
Got it.
Yeah. I mean, that's just that.
Gotcha.
But I was thinking that before it happened. I was thinking that too. I was like, and I feel bad because I feel like I kind of cursed him or whatever. But I was like thinking when he ran out with the American flag and stuff, I was like, it would be such a Jets thing to happen if Aaron Rodgers went down like the first series. I was like, that would be such a Jet.
I said that too.
Yeah,
you guys jinxed him.
I mean, everybody was thinking that there was some guy apparently. I don't know if it was real or not. But people are saying there was a guy that actually posted like 2 hours before the game and said he's gonna go out like the fourth play. Some dude predicted it. He's like, he should go on The Simpsons or something because Simpsons have a tendency of like predicting.
It's weird how that in South Park and another one that seems like they predict the future. It's
crazy, man.
Weird things.
By the way, isn't it funny how Aaron Rodgers goes down and they're sitting there going, "Oh, they got to get rid of artificial turf," and the filling dishes are so bad.
Yeah,
I got news
by the
for
way,
you.
which by the way, just as of recent as the last 5 years, there has been some, I guess, discussion of which is better. Is it the new artificial turf, which they use tire parts and stuff like that, for the they grind it up and stuff like that, or the regular, which is better? And the arguments are some of the artificial turf, depending on where it's happening, is actually better than natural grass. So it's a little bit weird about how people are, bringing that up.
But here's the thing, though. They didn't say a damn thing about the same playing surface being used the night before when the Cowboys beat up on the Giants.
Well, I know.
I mean, it was in the same freaking venue.
It's selective. I know.
No, it's the NFL copying to their favorites. I know. But
I could say this. I can say this personally. I've been officiating high school football for 2 years now. And I prefer artificial turf. Like I don't wear cleats. I wear just regular running shoes. But I could say that honestly, I think that honestly for the longevity of the players and for the sake of their legs and their back and stuff, artificial turf is more forgiving as far as like it's not as hard on the body running on it as grass is. But that being said, I think that this is an overreaction. It's kind of like the same thing think about all these rules that they implemented. Brady goes down with Tom Brady would go down with something. Everybody would have a knee-jerk reaction like, oh, we need to outlaw this because Brady. Now it's like, because Aaron Rodgers is probably done with football. That's my prediction. Rodgers is probably done with football. He's 38, 39. He's got an Achilles. It's going to take a year he ain't coming back, bro. There's no way.
No.
I don't care what kind of miracle grow shit he has. He ain't coming back before the end of this year, which is what he predicts. Now, that being said, of course, that's the name of the show. Guess who's here?
You didn't know?
You guys didn't guess. So, why is this not working?
It's Cuervo, my buddy Cuervo.
You didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
And next week, I will have up his alternate song. That is Cuervo, the fine co-host of this program. How you doing? Good to see you, my friend.
What's up, guys? Good morning. Good morning.
I beat you here, dude. What's up with that?
Just prepping for the show.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, but definitely. I need to. I've already slugged down 1.5 cups. I'm about a half cup left. But Cuervo called me this morning, and there seems to be something that might be on one Cuervo's mind. So Cuervo, I'm going to actually give you the whole stage. So Cuervo has something to say. Go ahead, Cuervo.
I do have something to say, and it's kind of a deep, serious topic. So You know, I don't mean to bring the mood down, but it has nothing to do with Tennessee because I heard what you said earlier. It has nothing to do with the Vols. I actually kind of expected that to happen just because I know how bad their defense is. But that being said, all right. We're all fans. We're all fans of football. That's why we come to this show. We all like to give our opinion. We like to talk. We root for certain teams, and all that good stuff, right? There's a line that does not need to be crossed ever. And I think after Thursday night's game with the Vikings and the Eagles, that line was crossed. And I don't think there's any room for it. I don't think it's acceptable. And as fans of the game, we need to do a whole lot better. So if you're that guy, or I'm going to label you as that guy. If you're that guy that takes the game and your team losing, and I'm talking Minnesota Vikings fan here, if you take it so deep and serious to where you got to go on social media messaging players and saying racist comments and making comments about you need to kill yourself, I need you to do two things. Especially if you listen to our show, I need you to do two things. Number one, I need you to log off right now and stop listening to us and never come back. Number two, I need you to take a stick of dynamite and shove it up your ass and light it, because to me, there's no room for that. And I think it's disgusting how far some people take it to where they got to go, like I said, and message players and tell them that they need to kill themselves and make racist comments. You're just a complete idiot, man. And you just need to get out of here and don't ever come back. All right. So that's what I wanted to bring up.
Boy, I'm out of the loop, Cuervo. Let me interrupt you. I mean, evidently I missed something, that's not a big thing because I'm the hardest working man in sports radio and probably did not see what was going on there. But explain to me and everybody else what is going on regarding that.
Sure, that might have been better to start off with, right? Because some people don't know what I'm talking about. So Thursday night's game, okay. Obviously, the Vikings lost to in Philadelphia, and a lot of people. If you watch the game, yes, I'm talking specifically about running back Alexander Mattison of the Vikings. He had a bad game. He turned the ball over, I think once, maybe twice. He fumbled, and he just didn't have a good game overall. Okay, and that's who. And he posted screenshots of the people that did that. They made racist comments towards him, called him the N-word, and I'm just going to say it because we can do that on this show. They made comments about, I bet you know how to hold on to a gun, but you can't hold on to a football. And then telling them, and then somebody else mentioned, that he needs to just kill himself and stop playing. It's disgusting. Wow. It was awful to see. And like I said, if you're that person and you listen
I'm glad he got the screenshots of that.
He did, Sonny. He put those people on and you could see their username and everything. So, those people are famous now in a bad way. So, but like I said, for those guys, if you're that guy and you got to take it that far, don't ever come on this show. We don't want to hear from you. We want nothing to do with you. So
people are sick, dude. That's disgusting. That's not, for somebody it's a football game. I mean, obviously, right. People get into it. I mean, I get into it. I scream at the TV, but there's no need for. I mean, the people like that just need mental help because that's just completely just.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, that's a next level crazy right there.
Yeah, am I mad at Joe Milton for how he played yesterday?
Interestingly,
yeah, I am. So, but I'm not going to go on his Instagram and be like, you piece of crap, and not in those
Yeah.
words, but
No.
you need to just, you need to just kill
Look,
yourself. Blah,
Look,
blah, blah.
there's nothing worse than seeing a non-Philly fan trying to be a Philly fan. Okay, because we all know how Philadelphia fans are, right? They are a different type. There's a certain type of stupid out there. Okay.
Yep.
But to see fans from other teams try to outdo them is staggering because, and don't wrong, Cowboy fans, there are Cowboy fans that try to be that way as well. There are Raider fans who try to be like that.
I say Raiders are the closest to Philly when it comes to
probably
how
right.
crazy their fans can be.
You're probably right. Yeah, but once again, it's fans trying to get way too involved in the sport that they're asked to sit there. Pay your time and your ticket and come watch this. That's all they're asked to do. Not be a part of it. And I hate this. Everybody what last night during the Florida Tennessee game, some idiot with seconds left in the game decided to run out on the field.
I saw that.
And I'm like, bro.
It was like a couple minutes left in the game. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know, man. It's crazy.
But, yeah. Well, it gets old. It gets old, Cuervo. I mean, this is actually becoming, social media making people famous for the stupidest things. And guess what? They're right in the middle of it, doing that kind of stuff. I have never understood that. And I also never understood fans getting in fights with the other team because they're wearing the other jersey thing. I have yet to figure that out. But the stupidity that comes from those kind of things, there's no tolerance. And like Cuervo said,
Florida fans do that too.
Watch our show, please. It's amazing. There's certain cities across this country that do that. So
well, like I said, Florida. If Tennessee fans, I would love to go.
So
I would love to go see it.
I'm right there with you.
I would love to go see a Tennessee-Florida game in Gainesville just for the atmosphere, but I've heard that there's so many things that they do to people in orange and white jerseys that I won't go because they're so toxic and they're so volatile and violent towards us. So it's like they're next level of kind of just nutty.
Do you remember it back in the 90s, dude? Wasn't there people getting stabbed in the parking lot going there in Gainesville?
Yeah. It's bad there in Gainesville for ball fans.
Yes. That happened in Oakland. And by the way, just think about this. And my brother told me this, and I didn't even know. But you think about the Raiders and what's going on. They have police stations with jails there at the stadium because people get so friggin' out of hand. They got to get them through. I think I lost my internet. It's popping in and out, and it might be me because my other screen kind of just went. So if we're having little problems, let me apologize ahead of time. But that being said, of course, that's the name of the show. Oh, great, good. I kind of lost what I was looking at over here. But that being said, I know. Shut up. Anyway, that being said, there's fandemonium, and then there's just idiots across the country, and unfortunately we got to watch out for those kind of people.
And just to be clear, I don't know if it was a fantasy football thing, or maybe this guy bet pink slips with somebody and he lost his car or something. I don't know the reason why this guy was so butthurt about it. Actually, it was two different people I saw screenshots of, but in reality, it really doesn't matter. I guess for me, guys, maybe you think the same way. I can't wrap my head around what could be so bad that you got to go and you got to message players.
Agreed.
And let them know how pissed off you are, because he's really going to care what you think, and message them in such a racist way, because it was racism, period. The N word completely spelled out.
Yeah, just stupidity. The stupidity of people, and that's what's the bad part of social media. I mean, a lot of people love the social media and stuff, but this is the bad part of social media that makes you.
This is total BS.
you just think these things, and it's just like nuts.
Those are the people that we call keyboard warriors, Sonny. Those are the keyboard
warriors.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. And there's a lot of that, unfortunately, throughout everywhere. So yeah, I agree with Cuervo. Don't come on my show.
Yeah, we don't want you here.
Bye.
It's really interesting because when we first started doing this, we wanted people to call in. The only problem is you don't know who's on the other line of that. Back in the day with Blog Talk Radio, how many times we just had to drop people, and now we're everybody's going, what happened to Sports Talk Radio? Sports Talk Radio was screwed up by the incoming calls that they couldn't act like they're more than 4 years old. That's what happened.
Yeah.
To the whole thing. So
it's a whole thing. Like general conversation over a certain subject became, hey, let's try to see if I can pop everybody else in the room. That's all it is.
Yeah. It's like, look at me. I got to be an idiot. Listen, now I'm an idiot all the time, but I shut up, Father. He's down there shaking his head so much his camera's shaking. Yeah, he's an idiot. But we don't bring that aspect, and we will never bring that aspect into it. And if and when it happens, we cut it out and we're done with it. It's just and unfortunately we've had that happen a couple of times up on this show, and hopefully it never done. Now
well, I was just gonna say one last thing. It's some people think they know how to do what's called trolling, and it's not trolling. You're just being a jackass.
You're just being an idiot.
Yep. Big time, actually. So, okay. All right. Obi, let me just tell you this, and this goes for Michigan too. And this goes for Michigan too. If you can't put real opponents on your schedule, don't even put it out there. That was my deal. I'm so sick of Bowling Green. I actually know where Bowling Green is, okay? But Jesus, no one knows where they're from, and no one knows, and they can't even hold a stick to it. So, no, I'm not impressed with your Buckeyes. I can give a rat's fat ass. When they play a real team and win them, then I'll give them the credit. Even Michigan, you're guilty of that crap, and I'm sick of it. Anyway, that's just me. That's my yearly thing. I say it every year, and they evidently haven't heard me, as far as that is concerned. So
I looked at actually the Buckeyes schedule, and they had like the 30. I think it was like 32 out of 133 teams that rank a schedule. So they're not even. I don't think that in college football, I don't think that's taken enough into consideration. Especially Georgia. I mean, come on, Georgia. Like they looked like ass the first half, and then they decided to kind of play a little bit on the second half. But South Carolina straight up gave up in that game, bro. They had Georgia right where they want them. They just came out flat in the second half, point blank.
If you can't put real teams on your schedule, you have no business being out there. Sorry, I don't even like talking about Michigan, as far as where they are in the ranks or whatever. They're undefeated. I could give a flying hairy fat ass about it. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, I'm so sick of it. Start scheduling real teams at the beginning of the year. I mean, if you want to play a preseason game, go ahead and do so, but don't count it as far as a win.
I will say this though, Sonny. You can only control so much of your schedule in college football because the in-conference games, you got to play those. No matter how bad those teams are, you have to play those games. But the out-of-conference schedule, those are the ones that matter. Those are the ones where you can really beef up your strength of schedule to help you later on when it comes to the what's the playoff rankings or whatever they call it.
It's pathetic. It's pathetic. Michigan, if the big guys are afraid to play the big guys in week 1, 2, 3, and 4, then just bow out. I'm sick of it. And Michigan's guilty of it too. And you can't tell me they don't have control of it because they actually do. So they need to
in conference. No, they don't.
Well, no, in conference, no. But I'm talking about Bowling Green. I mean, come on.
Well,
You
yeah.
can't put anybody better on your schedule than Bowling Green. I don't know who Ohio State played, but it was some no name, no one ever
Yeah.
freaking heard of. You know,
Support.
I'm
That's
not
what they play.
impressed, by the way, and I'm not impressed when Alabama does it because they do it too. I want that crap to stop. If you want real competition in college, if you want to just stroke your fans because you whipped somebody by 60, had no business on the football field with you in the first place, and make you feel good, then go ahead and stroke yourself and make yourself feel good. I'm not buying it. So go ahead.
But hold on a second. I mean, a lot of these smaller schools though, they kind of rely on taking on the big name value team out there to help draw revenue into their stadium to help pay for their football program as well.
I don't care. I don't care about Bowling Green's money. I don't care how much they got to show up. I don't care. They had no business out on the football field against Michigan. Okay, and this happened at Cuervo. Is probably so. There goes Sonny on the broken record again. I say this every year. I'm sick of it. I don't even enjoy watching the first 3 or 4 weeks of college football because of this crap.
Time out. Look at a team like UNT. Okay, out in Denton. They're not.
What about them?
Well, I mean, when they get a chance to play Oklahoma or teams like that can help bring in fans to their stadium to help pay for certain parts of their program. That's why these teams have these other teams scheduled. Now, yeah, you're right. You're right. There are teams that take full advantage of that and do nothing but take on cream puffs until they get to their conference games.
Absolutely.
But at that point, that's where the rating system, whatever it is, needs to be really reevaluated. Don't give them a ranked team or a ranked number until they play a real team.
But they don't. That's the point.
I know. I mean,
and it's been going on for years.
It's
a great idea, Podfather. But they don't do it.
Is that Michigan's fault or is that college football's fault?
Say that again.
Well,
is that Michigan's fault or is that college football's problem?
Well, it's mostly Michigan's fault.
How? Because
they put them on the schedule. Because they are the ones outside of, just like Cuervo said, outside of it, they put that on the schedule. Okay, right. They need to change that, and college football sucks because of it. By the way, now granted, I'm never going to be able to convince anybody that college football sucks, but I'm going to tell you, the first 3 weeks, it's just stupid. It's like a live scrimmage, and no one cares except the kids that go to the school. No one cares about Michigan against Bowling Green. They care about Michigan, Ohio State. They care about Michigan and Wisconsin. They care about games that matter. These games don't matter. And even though, this is my show, so I'm allowed to do that. I kind of really, but
pull the screen back, let him go.
Yeah. But that being said, I just hate it. So it's and I'll be saying it every year because the cream puffs will be on the schedule every year because of it. But anyway, go ahead. Go ahead, Podfather. I didn't mean to. But this is one of the things that drives me absolutely nuts.
Well, look, the problem with college football is one thing only. Their playoff system sucks. Okay? Until they actually figure out a right way to do the playoffs, then determining a national championship based off 4 teams you select as your final 4 sucks. And I know they're going to go to 8 now, I think.
12.
12, yeah.
That's not bad. But the thing is,
I think it should be 8.
Are they starting that this year?
Yes, sir.
They should have started it when they started this whole thing. It was stupid.
Right.
Well, it's a whole hell of a lot better than a BCS. I'll give it that. The BCS was true. Awful, but
it took years of the BCS being the problem that it was. And at one time, didn't they crown two national championships at one time?
Yeah, it was Michigan and somebody else, right?
No, that was before the BCS.
Okay.
That was like a year before because that was like 97, right? I think.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Michigan and Nebraska, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I will say this though, in college football's defense, I think because what the issue is, I think, is the conferences are so out of balance. You have some conferences that are so strong, and then you have conferences that are just kind of a joke. So now with this whole conference realignment thing, you're going to start to see these power conferences where teams are going to have to play more they're going to have to play more in-conference games with a bigger strength of schedules. I think what Sonny wants is actually going to be coming around the bend. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to keep the SEC called the SEC, because at this point, let's be honest, it's not really the SEC. I mean, you're adding Texas and Oklahoma to, and already you got Texas A&M, and you got so many Southwest teams. I mean, what's going to be now they call it the Pac-12. Well, it's a Pac-2 because you got 10 teams moving on. You got 2 teams in limbo. So, I mean, you're really going to have to do a restructure of college football. But I think that the end result is going to be better strength of schedule and more quality games. You know, I mean, you got some Texas, Alabama's looking like it's going to be a good rivalry. USC versus OSU in the new, when they move over, maybe that'll be a good rivalry. You never know. I mean, so you got more good stuff coming up on the horizon.
I hope.
Yeah,
so.
I think like you said, you know, Sonny, with the strength of schedule stuff, you don't see it now, but give it about 3 years and you are going to see.
Yep.
You know, like from week 1 until, you know, conference championship games are going on. The strength of schedules are going to get a lot better. You're going to see a lot more competitive games from week 1 till the end. But yeah, like I don't know how they're going to rename these conferences, you know, because the Big Ten is like the Big 14 now, you know.
Yeah,
I know it's sad.
Now they just have the big. Now they just have the big.
Hey,
can I bring one thing up, Sonny, real quick?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I want to say something that I don't know what's up with college football, and they are completely obsessed with Deion Sanders, bro. Okay, let me just say this: they had to go to double overtime against the Colorado State team that is pathetic. Okay, that team is pathetic, right? And for them to be all over Deion Sanders the way they are, like, oh, he's legit and stuff. That's what the announcer. Oh, he's officially here, dude. I'm talking. I text Cuervo on Facebook last night. I said, dude, they're gonna get smoked by Oregon. I'm sorry that until they get a real team, because TCU was okay. TCU is an upset, I guess, but we all know what TCU is because we saw it last year in the national championship game. They had no right being there. Let's see them play in Oregon. Let's see them play in Ohio State. Let's see them play some good quality competition. Deion Sanders, he's going to build that program, but it ain't there yet, bro. And for them to be like, oh, he's, you know, it's pathetic. I hate it. It's so overhyped.
Here's the thing. Go ahead, Podfather. Go ahead.
Look, I've been watching a lot of the whole Colorado thing. I'm actually a big Colorado fan because of Deion. And is the bandwagon jumping? Sure, whatever. Here's the thing. I love the little pro wrestler inside Deion Sanders. He sells himself, right? And he gets the people believing him. He's got that entire team believing in him. He's got that entire town believing in him. Here's the thing. Even he knows they're not ready yet. He knows there's still a few players away from getting the right formula in place to start winning big championships there at Colorado. Having said that, though, think about this. He brought ESPN there. He brought he brought what First Take and the Pat McAfee show. He got The Rock to show up there. He got all these rap stars to be out there to go to the widest freaking state in the union for them to sit there and actually want to be a part of Colorado. If you get players who want to be invested in you as a coach, and he comes at you like a player,
there's no.
That's
question.
all. That's all it is. He comes at you like a player, and the players are reacting to that because you got your Nick Sabans out there who sit there and they say, look how many rings I've got. Look how many this I've got. That's all well and good. But are those players getting those opportunities with that one coach? Some are, some aren't. That's why the transfer portal's out there. Deion's looking at the transfer portal saying, look, I ain't hard to find. You come over here, we'll see what you got. We'll interview you to see what fits us, but we'll see what fits you. And look, what's it going to be like when his sons are no longer in Colorado? That's the thing. Will he have will he have as much of an interest in coaching there as he did when his kids were there? That's the thing. But then again, I know a wrestling pro out of Arkansas who's got a kid who's 16 years old who's a wrestler. If he decides to go and become a WWE superstar, will his dad quit running a promotion out in Arkansas? I don't know. I mean, it could very well happen. So, I mean, there is always going to be that. But Deion Sanders has done so much for that little area of Boulder, Colorado, that in less than a year, while we can all sit there and hate on the man for being Deion Sanders, he ain't ashamed of saying who he is. And the thing is that we all sit there and go, well, I wouldn't be like that. Well, you know what? We're not him. We are not him. Well, you know, and as long as he delivers, and let's say they're 3-0, they got Oregon coming up, and Oregon's going to beat the living snot out of them. Yes, they are. And he knows that. But you have to talk it up. You have to talk up the game. And
that's a good point.
And what Colorado State came in last night, and their quarterback, by the way, did a phenomenal job knowing where to put the ball.
Yeah,
there's no question about that. Now he made up the middle last night.
Now he had 2 turnovers. That happens, but you know he knew where to put the ball. The game caught Colorado off guard because they did not know what to expect. There's a lot of holes Colorado has on their defense. A lot of holes they got on their offense. So it's going to take time. We're 3-0, and basically they have defeated TCU. I forget who the second team was, and now Colorado.
Nebraska was second.
Nebraska last week.
Yeah.
But that goes back to what I was saying earlier, Podfather. Look who they're playing. Listen, yeah, TCU was in the national championship game. That's a good. Now, granted, these games are years ahead of time, but hey. Normally Nebraska is a good football team. I mean, you look at Nebraska and what their history is. That's a real football team. It's a real program. And even to Colorado State, that's an in-state rivalry. So that's always a good thing. You hate to see a blowout in rivalries like on Friday night when I called the rivalry game and it was a blowout. It's a hard game to call, but it's a rivalry, and those are the kind of things I want to see in college football.
But I'll tell you one thing: Colorado only won 1 game last year.
Absolutely,
that's a good point. That's a great point. Yeah,
they've won 3 now.
Yep.
Now that might be the only 3 that might be the only 3 they win. That's fine. That's 2 better than they did the year before. You have to build. That's all they're doing. Yeah. They're building, and they're building with the name. With look, who's the face of college football right now?
Well, there's no question. There's no question.
Deion Sanders is the face of college football.
Yeah,
and he's a 50-plus-year-old coach. Okay, but he has got people watching college football. That's what's important. And
at least watching Colorado. Okay, well, yeah, let's be honest. No one was watching them before, and you do bring in the name that helps. So I'll give you that.
And here's the thing: here's Deion Sanders. He's played for Atlanta. He's played for the Dallas Cowboys. He's played for the San Francisco 49ers. He's played for the Redskins. He's played for I guess Baltimore at one time, didn't he? So yeah. So I mean, he's been a part of different culture with teams that are viewed very differently. I mean, let's face it. People view the Dallas Cowboys a lot different than they view the Baltimore Ravens. Okay, so he knows how that works, and that's why I think it's important that people who don't like Deion Sanders because he's Deion Sanders, you wouldn't care about Colorado if he wasn't Deion Sanders.
Oh, I love Deion Sanders. I'm a Cowboys fan. Primetime was primetime, biggest time in the Cowboys. My thing is, it's just like teams that are. Right now, I feel they're overrated. I like the hype that he's created. I like the fact that his sons play for. I'm not knocking the guy or the program. I'm just saying from a purely, talent standpoint that everybody's saying, "Oh, Colorado's here. They're for real and stuff." And it's like, no, they're not. But I get what you're saying. I get your point. I'm not knocking Deion. Deion is awesome. He's the king of hype, and he's. I like to see these other because honestly, there comes a point where you get so sick of hearing about every freaking year. Who is it? Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, and Alabama. You just get sick of hearing and Clemson. I mean, it's nice to get another team in there, that's kind of in the chat that's getting all the publicity. Because I'm tired of Saban.
But you gotta look this way. Like you and I are big Cowboy fans, right? Because I know I'm a Cowboy.
Yeah.
Think of how many primetime games the Cowboys get and how much that pisses off the rest of the country.
Oh, there's no question.
Yeah. So the thing is, while we can sit here on one breath and say I'm sick of the hype, same time we live with the hype. Imagine if you're a Yankees fan. Imagine if you're a New York Yankees fan, right? And the entire world hates you because you're the Yankees fan, but you've got all the trophies to go with it, and you've got all the glamour. And when there's movies made about baseball, most of them are about the Yankees. So, I mean, you have all this notoriety coming your way. So you giving everybody else out there who's like the Yankees a reason to hate you. So I really do think that there's a good chance that we'll see what Deion does here down the road. Okay, and once again, I'm loving what he's doing. Yeah. I have no college affiliation whatsoever to anybody, not to Texas, not to Oklahoma, not to anybody. So for me to find a team and sit there and go, give me a reason to like you, and I got one with Deion. So I'm like, you know what? I love Michael Irvin as a player. Person, different story. But I mean, as a player, loved him to death. He brings in guys who can sit there and actually look. I'm not a big Tom Brady fan, but Tom Brady's mentoring his kid. I mean, that's freaking huge.
Yep.
So, kudos to what he's doing out there. And once again, will he win that championship this year? Probably not. But you'll know until you win all your games, right? You win all your games.
Yeah.
And
that's why they play the game.
If you win all your games and don't get that championship game, then there's something wrong with the actual sport itself.
Listen. One thing that happens, and Cuervo probably can attest to this. College football is about two things. I used to say one. Okay, the first one obviously being usually the money, but when you can bring on personality, which is what has been going on, college football is doing the right thing by focusing on him because that's what's bringing eyes to the TV. So we get overflown with what we're getting with Deion. So Cuervo, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if they don't go to Deion, people are going, why aren't you going to Deion Sanders? What he's doing and everything. So you get the yappity yap back and forth in reality.
No, right. And I think college football fans, no matter what you think of Deion, I think we need to embrace this situation because
absolutely I can't stand him. And I was up until 1:15 in the morning watching that stupid football game.
I was 2:15 for me. So
yeah, so that's my point. All four of us in this panel right now, we were all watching the game. No matter what we think of Deion, no matter what we think of the hype. Were you watching? Yes, we were. All four of us were watching. I was watching on my damn phone on the couch, hanging out with the wife. So we were watching, and we will do whatever it takes to watch the game. So I was sitting there on my phone watching it.
Yeah, you were stuck. I mean, you were watching reality TV with the wife and still watching it on the phone.
Okay, time out. What was she watching?
We were watching this documentary about and Sonny may remember because he's old. You're not wrong. I knew I'd get him on that one.
The beard is a dead giveaway, sir. I'm sorry.
It was a documentary, Sonny. You may remember, and this was a long time ago, 1984. It was a shooting that happened at a McDonald's. San Ysidro, California, right by the border.
Yep.
Which I live about 40 minutes away from there, 45 minutes. But I never knew about that story. But yeah, I mean, this dude just opened fire at a McDonald's and killed a bunch of people.
That's why. Never mind, their hamburgers suck, and I just don't go. And then you add the shootings on top of it. Yes, I mean, it's almost as bad as a bad high school where the shooting.
I was expecting you to say Dr. Phil, but I know she likes that show.
No, so you said Dr. Phil. You're just sitting on the couch watching college football, and you're watching me. You got a problem, okay?
But yeah, I was watching the game, and then I was doing a free concert in Vegas. They were shooting a video and doing a free concert in Vegas right in front of the plaza. So I was up watching that until I finally just said, shit, I got to go to bed. I mean, I got a show to do in the morning.
Right.
So it's but anyway, this is what we got. Well, I'm really horrible at this blue. Wrong hand. There we go. This right here, and we got this right here. You got games there, all set and ready to go, and we need to hop into those. As I love it. Maybe we should come on an hour earlier. Cuervo's going, geez, 6?
No,
no, don't do that. Don't do that to Cuervo. That poor guy. He has to stay up all night and watch a documentary with his wife. Come on now.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, it's actually a good documentary.
Listen.
Right.
We have a Cuervo reason to say, look, Burger King doesn't have shootings. Let's go there.
So, yeah, no kidding, right? Yeah, that's correct. By the way,
It's funny you say that, Godfather, because I'm one of the very few people that prefer BK over McDonald's.
Well,
I do too.
Well, first of all, enjoy it now because BK is going away.
What?
I read a huge article. Franchises are going away.
Don't play with my emotions like that.
Burger King has closed 75% of their franchises here at the end of this year.
Because their food's nasty, bro.
I enjoy them better than McDonald's.
Ain't much better.
It's like horrible, but all right. So the franchise is going away, but we are set. It's the NFL. It's week number 2. Okay. We started off with me picking the Vikings 4 turnovers. They could have won that game very easy. 4 friggin' turnovers kill you every single time. You don't win those games very often. They got to stop that kind of nonsense if they're expecting. They're 0-2 now. Division. Looking at Detroit, what they're planning to do. They could go 2-0 today. They could be already behind the 8 ball as far as going on. And don't forget about Green Bay. Even Green Bay, they take Atlanta today. How's that going to work out? We'll be looking at those as far as the games are concerned. But that being said, of course, that's the name of the show. There's big games. We're going to have Bryce from Brooklyn and Obi coming in here. Bryce from Brooklyn said he's going to come.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
The show. So we're going to push on and kick into the games that are happening in the NFL and see what's going on. We have the Saints and Panthers. These are going to be some quick ones, so we can get them out of the way. Saints and Panthers, you look at this team, you don't know what teams these guys are. It's week number 2, so these guys are like in the middle down to the bottom of the pack as far as the games are concerned. So when you look at what Bryce Young did for the Panthers, his debut, 146 yards, 2 interceptions. Hey, guess what? That's what rookie quarterbacks do. Okay, it's almost like tailor-made. You know what's going to be expecting there. So now, what they're going to be able to do against the Panther defense, I don't know. But I love me some Chris Avole. Derek Carr, he threw for 305 yards last week. So that being said, they take on a Panther team that you look at the teams and ask yourself, what are you going to look at in order to pick one team over the other? And Cuervo, this is one of those tough games when you look at how things are happening. Who's going to be the game player or the guy, the superstar that stands out in this game? What do you think about this one today?
Well, so that's a Monday night games. And for those that don't know, there's actually a doubleheader tomorrow on Monday night.
I did not know that.
Yes, sir.
This is the doubleheader game? This is a Sunday game?
No, Saints Panthers, it's one of the Monday night games.
I did not know that. I thought they were playing today. So thank you for the update.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I look at this game and it feels like Derek Carr. I don't want to say he struggled. I just think he was a little uncomfortable. Probably, new offense, new receivers he's throwing to now. So I definitely think that you're going to see a little more comfort, a little more comfortable in the pocket from Carr. I just, from the little that I did see on Red Zone, I think maybe running the ball, maybe a little bit more balance might be something that the Saints need to do. And then for Carolina, I mean, what do we really expect from Carolina this year? I mean, they trade up to get the number 1 pick. They take Bryce Young. And don't get me wrong, they spent a lot of money in free agency. So
without question.
But that's only going to get you so far. I mean, you got to build through the draft, no matter how you want to look at it. All the good teams that you see out there right now, they were built through the draft. So I give the edge to the Saints. I think this is an interesting because division games, especially at the beginning of the year, they're so – you just never know what's going to happen. Like, I picked Dallas to win last week. I did not expect a 40-0 game though.
Exactly.
None of us did.
Yeah, nobody saw that coming. And so with that being said, I like the Saints in this game. I just want to see more balance from the offense. Get a guy like Juwan Johnson, the tight end, more involved. I think that's a guy that Carr can lean on to get some first down, third down conversions and stuff like that. And then, the defense will do what they do. I think they have a really good defense, and just let Derek Carr do what he does.
And looking at who they are. Listen, say whatever you want. Bryce Young. Okay, last week, first game of the NFL.
Crazy knucklehead, terrible.
It was terrible. It was hard to watch. But more if you were expecting anything differently, you're a homer. Because listen, rookie quarterbacks very rarely come out and do what Bryce Purdy did last year. Okay, and I'm going to give Bryce Purdy all the credit in the world for what he did last year. Especially coming in after the guy gets hurt. But this guy is going to take look at Peyton Manning, for God's sake, right, Cuervo? They won one. The famous playoffs came because of it was Peyton Manning not trying to get into. So we don't know what we're going to get from Bryce Young. Okay. But I will say that he's going to get better. I don't think that that's going to happen today. But Potfather, you're taking on a football team that is when you look at them, this is a defensive football team, that being the Atlanta Falcons. I don't know how Bryce Young gets out of the way.
What about the Atlanta Falcons again?
Well, I just said that defense is probably going to be right there in his face, just like last week.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, the fact that this is one of your Monday night games. I mean, it's a divisional rival, if you want to call them that. Derek Carr didn't look great for the Saints. But he looked a lot better than Bryce Young did with Carolina. So I'm gonna, for me, I'm gonna go Saints on this one, only because I think Carr's got more on him than Bryce right now.
Right, and I'm sorry, I meant the New Orleans defense. I apologize.
Yeah.
I confused you. I confused myself.
Orleans defense. Hey, you called Brock Purdy Bryce Purdy a second ago also.
There you go. It's the mind up
here. Sir, drinking this early in the morning is not a good thing.
I'm lucky to remember Sonny Clark.
None of us are lucky that we remember that. It's written down. We have to see it. We're not lucky by that.
Well, I'm looking at the screen. I'm still doing it, but it is what it is. But I don't know how he gets out of his way. Tom, you're looking at this game. What are you looking at as far as this game is concerned on Monday night?
Well, I think I'm going to, kind of echo the sentiments of my other people here, but I think that, you got the experience of Derek Carr. You did mention Chris Olave, that he has more weapons. Bryce Young, it's going to be a tough year for them, for the Panthers? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be a tough sledding for them. He's going to have a lot of hits he has to take, and he's not NFL ready yet. But I think the best way for him to learn is just go in there and be fed to the wolves.
Yeah.
On the job. I don't think that the Saints are a dominant team. Not at least not to. When I get Kamara back, that'll be a big boost. Without Kamara, there's a big hole there. But with Derek Carr and Olave, and they have a pretty okay defense. Let's see, what is their defensive stat? It's dead. I'm looking at it. I printed up all the stuff. I'm trying to be prepared. This first time for me. But they're like middle of the pack defensively. They're probably gonna give Bryce Young some issues defensively. He'll probably run it for his life. So it's gonna be a close game. But ultimately the Saints are gonna overpower them probably in the second half, and I'm probably 7-10 point win for the Saints.
Gotcha.
Which game's gonna be on ESPN Deportes?
I don't know.
Is that the second one? That's the Steelers and who are they playing? I think, right?
The Ocho.
Cleveland.
Okay, I wasn't sure because I saw that advertised last night. I was just going, wow, ESPN Deportes is getting the game. Who knows?
Well, the ESPN Deportes gets most of the games. It is what it is. But that being said, of course, that's the name of this show. We're going to head on into the next game. And I hate that I got to do this, but Kansas City Chiefs are taking on my Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville. Okay, now I'm not under any illusion. I'm not even looking at last week's loss by the Kansas City Chiefs doing what they did last week. Everybody's supposedly going to be back, depending on what it is. Kelsey and they'll decide that. As of now, he's questionable. But listen, when you're questionable and you're Travis Kelsey, you're probably going to play this game. They're going to see how this works out. But even without Kelsey in the lineup, this is a big step for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Listen, Jaguars have 5 games that they've got to win against big football teams. They did it last week, starting with week number 1. If they could get week number 2 under their belt with a win against a quality team such as the Kansas City Chiefs, this could really put the Jaguars in where now people are going to start talking about them realistically. However, Cuervo, this is the Jaguars. This is the Chiefs. The Chiefs have the 2-time Super Bowl champion. And listen, say whatever you want about their quarterback position in Jacksonville. It's just not. I just don't think it's going to be enough today. Even though they are at home, Kansas City's giving 3 to. So Jacksonville's a home dog in reality in this one.
They are a home dog in this one, and as of right now. Because I like to pull up injury reports. Kelsey is listed as questionable, so
yes,
I see him playing. I just don't know how much he's going to play. Is he going to be on limited snaps? Are they going to continue to go with I think what's his name, Gray, or I forget his name now, the backup tight end, something Gray. His last name's Gray, but. Do they give him the majority of the snaps? Are they going to force the issue with Kelsey, which would be the worst thing you could do? Because this isn't a must-win for Kansas City, I don't think.
I don't think so either. They can start 0-2 and still be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And then Edwards-Helaire is the other guy that is questionable. And, he's not a household name, guys, but I do think that he is important to have because when you talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, the first thing you think of is Mahomes to Kelsey. Well, you can't forget about the running game, and they gotta be able to establish the run, or at least even the screen game, however Kansas City wants to run the football. So. Edwards-Helaire is a name that I'm looking to see if he's going to play or not. And then for Jacksonville, there's a couple injuries here, Sonny. You got
guys out. A couple of guys out.
Brandon Scherf, the offensive lineman, Antonio Johnson, safety. So yeah, there's some guys that are banged up already for the Jags. So
yep. And think about this. They also get Chris Jones back. I mean, so that's a big for Kansas City. They get their guy back there. They gave him this money at least for this year.
We'll see how much he plays
that
too,
defense back as well.
Yeah, we'll see how much he plays too because, he just signed the deal a week ago, and chances are, let's be honest, he probably wasn't staying in shape during his holdout. So. Is he physically ready to go?
I'll find out.
That's going to be another thing to look at is how much does he play?
The wind and the wind factor, and I mean the wind factor inside his body.
And it's hot as hell down in Jacksonville.
Yeah, it is what it is. So, Podfather, when you look at Jaguars Chiefs, what's your take up on this one going into week 2?
Is it me or did Patrick Mahomes look really slow against the Lions when he would get out of the pocket and run around? He was. I know he's a little bit older than he was before and everything else, but him moving the ball down the field was an issue. Now I know Kelsey wasn't really a big part of the game. I don't think he wasn't the game at all. And it's probably because he's too busy shacking up with Taylor Swift, which is never a good thing, guys. Because let's face it, you break up with her, she'll write a song about you, and nothing good ever comes out of that.
There you go.
I mean, she'll get number one hit and millions of dollars, and all you're going to have is a memory of banging some girl that just sold out AT&T Stadium. That's all you're going to get.
Okay.
But
yeah, that has a lot to do with the game today.
Just saying.
It's funny you mentioned Mahomes being older because he turns 28 years old today.
How about that?
Wow! Happy birthday, Pat. Not that it matters.
But you know,
it doesn't matter,
but in all seriousness, I mean, something looked off with the Chiefs against the Lions. Now maybe it's the Lions. I mean, maybe the Lions were just being that team. Hard to say.
Maybe the Lions just were quicker week one compared to never mind. Mahomes was throwing to his number 3 and number 4 wide receiver throughout the whole damn game. So you take away the 1-2 weapon and 3 weapon in reality, because you didn't have Kelsey in there. It's just killer for it. And listen, sooner or later, Patrick Mahomes will lift the number 3 and number 4 wide receiver into household names, because as of right now, no one knows who they were. So, but that's what makes quarterbacks great.
But does he do that against Jacksonville and their defense? That's the question.
Listen, the Jags defense is the best part of their game, and their offense is no slouch. So you gotta look out for him. But isn't it, I don't know, Tom. I don't know if it's enough to go ahead and lift the Chiefs over the Jags over the Chiefs today.
Trevor Lawrence is coming along pretty good, and he's got some legit weapons.
He does.
The Chiefs defense without Chris Jones looked soft last week, but I think that everybody's kind of overreacting to the Lions game. I think and you guys are probably going to laugh at me. I think the Lions have a legit chance of being in the Super Bowl this year. I think that they are. I think that they are a really good team. So, but Mahomes is going to get over. Once he has Kelsey back, he's got all his weapons. Like I said, my biggest question is their defense. How are they going to do? I don't know how they're going to do. I think that they rebound today. Mahomes is going to go off. Just because I think they have a lot to prove because it's like everybody wants to take out the champs, right? I mean, they've won the Super Bowl. Everybody wants to take them out. To be the best, you got to beat the best kind of thing. But Mahomes is going to be like, okay, this was an anomaly. The Lions are better than everybody thinks they are, but they're going to go off on the Jags. Now, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game either way. I think it's going to be a very high-scoring affair. And it's going to come down to ultimately the last possession of the game, I believe. And I think that it's going to be Mahomes maybe coming back from like 3 down or 4 down at the end of the game and going to make some sort of miraculous 2-minute drive, and they're going to end up winning the game. So that's how I see it going.
Well, the Lions in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's blasphemy. Listen, for 2 years, and ask Cuervo, for the last 2 years, I've been on the Lions, being the better football team. And now I'm kind of taking a step back, and everybody's in love with the Lions, and I'm just not going to fall for it. I've watched it. I love what they got going on. I love that they got the quote unquote players coach and everybody's there. Yeah. But I'm not falling. But that being said, the Lions take on the Seattle Seahawks today. By the way, Cuervo, who are you taking, in this one, Jacksonville or Kansas City? I'm really interested. I'm on the Chiefs. I love my Jags. Don't get me wrong, but I want the point. I just think that, the Chiefs are the Chiefs and the Jaguars are an up and coming team, just not ready for prime time.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna pull the trigger.
Oh my goodness! If I wish I could. Sorry, I don't have the gun sound, but pulling the trigger. You're going to go Jacksonville today,
Sonny. I'm going to go. I'm going to call the upset. I'm going to go with your Jaguars. I think Kansas City starts off 2.
Well, you're wrong, but that's okay. That's okay, buddy. You're wrong. It's okay.
hey! But these are the picks. Like last week, I was on the Rams. No one was on the Rams. And I was on the island with the Rams. I said Seattle wasn't going to win last week. Guess what? I happened to be right in that one. So because they were playing them. But it is what it is.
This one's every Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. You never know what you're going to get. Podfather, who do you have? Jacksonville and the Chiefs.
Well, I've gone back and forth with this one because I know it would be an upset if Jacksonville won, but
Absolutely, it would be.
Jacksonville's defense is really, really good, and
They are.
Kansas City's
Mhm.
offense is not so great right now.
Well, you don't know that. It's week 2. Everybody sucks in week number 1 who lost.
Hey.
Right?
Going based on what I saw on week 1, okay?
Okay.
Without Chris Jones, though.
Right. That being said, I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Gonna go with Chiefs.
Pick the Chiefs.
Tom, who you got on this one?
Chiefs. It's close.
So,
Very close.
as of right now, Cuervo on an island, on that, at least with us 4 anyway. But
see, I agree with Tom that it's going to be close. I don't think it'll be a high-scoring game, though.
Really? You think it's going to be a battle of defenses?
I think we're talking under 20 points for both teams.
Wow.
Well, look at what they did last year in the playoffs, okay? Jacksonville and the Chiefs in the playoffs. So, listen, Jacksonville was there the whole damn game. Don't get me wrong. It was a great effort. Now, whether or not they learned from that game on how they would be able to beat them here in week number 2, it's better in week number 2 than it is in the playoffs. They got a better chance today than if this game was 3 or 4 weeks down the road. There's no question about that.
Everything's different. Everything's different compared to last year, though, so.
The first four weeks, everything is different than what it normally looks like.
Hey, Podfather, so are you saying I should take the under 50.5 in this game?
I would.
50.5. Interesting.
50.5. So go.
All right. So
we'll
watch that one. I will be watching that one with our friend of the family, that being Tom McManus, is picking the Jaguars as well with a 30-27 victory is what he predicted. So I watch your show religiously. I'm more of a Jacksonville Jaguar realist than he is, but it is what it is. But that being said, Seattle is in Detroit today. This is the hype game. Okay, this is a hype game, and what I mean by hype, it's not they're hyping people, whether it's one person at the quarterback position for the Seattle Seahawks or the hype of the Detroit Lions in reality. So when you look at this one, if I go by hype, I'd rather have the hype of a whole football team than one guy at the quarterback position for the Seattle Seahawks, which, by the way, I predicted, which, by the way, still sucks. And in case you don't matter, he's going to suck next week too, okay? Because he is who he is, because he can't get out of the way of what his history is as far as being a quarterback in the NFL. Now, since Cuervo just kind of went to the side, I'll shoot it over to Podfather. Looking at Seattle and the Lions, what do you think about this one?
Lions going to be at home. Lions are riding that very, they're riding a wave right now, right? Waves going to come down eventually. I'm sorry. It's going to come down eventually to where they're going to be as great as everybody thought they were.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying they're not going to win a Super Bowl. I'm just saying that, they're not going to go. They're not going to 6-17-0. It's not going to
absolutely.
But they're going to go 2-0 because they're going to beat Seattle at home, and I think their defense will be able to expose a lot of Geno Smith. But the thing is, I still don't know where I put the Lions offense right now. So many things happened in week 1 that I'm trying to figure out different parts of the league right now. So
right.
Like I didn't expect what we saw of the Colts. I damn sure didn't expect to see what we saw of the Cowboys. So there's so many changes going on. But one thing I think that when you're at home and you're the perennial favorite right now, because the league is looking at you right now.
Absolutely.
And the league is saying, show me what you got. They're kind of like Colorado.
Prove it to us.
They're kind of like Colorado. Show me what you got. And I think they have. I'm not gonna say a layup because I think Seattle will play them tough. I think it'll be close, but I think Lions run away with it in the fourth quarter and then they get the win.
Tom, I mean, this is the game. This is they're getting the focus of what they wanted. They took the 2 years and we're getting better. We're getting better. Now everybody's expecting them to be better. They take and win against the Kansas City Chiefs, the Super Bowl champions. And they go out and they have a great game. There goes the Podfather. He may be back. But looking at this one, what are you looking at as far as it's real simple for me. Geno Smith is not an NFL quarterback, and he just fooled everybody last year because everybody kind of forgot him and didn't watch film on him because he's Geno Smith. He sucks. So I think what happened is that the NFL got away from you got to really know who you're playing, and Geno Smith got away with it for a whole year.
Yeah, I think that Geno Smith had everybody fooled. They had me fooled. He had me fooled because I think last week in their game, I think I actually picked him, and I said he was going to have a pretty good game. The Detroit defense is for real.
Yes.
And the thing is about the Detroit Lions. The reason I say they're a Super Bowl pick for me to be in the Super Bowl is not because they're not necessarily the most talented team. It's just the fact that Dan Campbell has got that team to buy. They are all in. He's got them to buy into what they're doing. So if you have a team, I think sometimes if you have a team that believes that they can win, I think that's more important sometimes than having all the talent in the world. Plus, Jared Goff isn't a great quarterback, but he does just enough, and he makes the least amount of mistakes.
He was in the Super Bowl, and if I'm not mistaken, I know they didn't win, but I mean, when you're a Super Bowl caliber quarterback, that guy hasn't gotten any respect ever since then because of the situation in LA, because of the head coaching problem with him. It was personal. Yeah. You can't tell me differently. He said his girlfriend or wife or whatever he was to her that he would be able to hit that. That was the reason why he's out of there in LA. I'm sorry, they had too much money sunk into him for that to be not personal. So that whole thing was personal. But don't forget that was a Super Bowl caliber quarterback at one point with the Rams, and he's slowly getting back to it. Last year, this guy couldn't miss. I mean, he was throwing. He threw for close to 5,000 yards last year. You don't throw 5,000 yards if you're a bad quarterback. Sorry, you just don't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and the thing that I hate about the Seahawks is that if they had a little bit better of a quarterback, I think that would be really good because because think about it. DK Metcalf, he's almost got like what the Lions did to Megatron. Okay. DK Metcalf, I think arguably is the most talented receiver in the NFL right now. We just haven't got to see it much because we got, because of, the other quarterback they had before him, Russell Wilson, he was kind of in his, I'm just saying, if DK Metcalf had a better quarterback, he would show off, and he would be like, just the best stats in the world. Geno Smith ain't it. They need to get a better quarterback, and the Lions, I think, today are just going to prove that they are legit, that they're to be a force to be reckoned with, and I think that their defense is going to lock down and really tee off on the Seahawks. Really, DK Metcalf and when you got DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, you're obviously going to be in the game. But that defense is a shadow of what they used to be. They used to be a Legion of Boom, and now it's like they can't make a tackle. So Detroit's really going to expose their weak defense, and Detroit's probably going to win by. I'm picking Detroit by 2 touchdowns.
Wow, that's a lot. But here's one thing, and I'll shoot it over to the Podfather. I'm going to try to defend Geno Smith a little bit. Okay, I'm going to try. It's hard to do. But when you're missing your number 1 and number 2 offensive linemen to injury to start the year off, that doesn't help Geno Smith. And Geno Smith is Geno Smith without having him in the lineup. And that is a big story. Listen, and Tom McManus taught this to Sonny. Games are not won usually with the high-flying wide receivers. The games are won on the offensive and defensive line. And when your offensive line is not there, you're going to have a hard time winning football games. And based upon kind of what I'm hearing, they're still going to be out. They're still going to be without their starting tackles due to injury. So this might even get uglier because the Lions' defense is that much better than who they played last week. So, Podfather, looking at this one, what do you have, Lions Seahawks?
Well, going on what you're saying, then it looks like that Colin Kaepernick will have to put a word out to send this.
There you go.
Seattle and say,
that would be the place for him to go.
look, the Jets don't want me, so what do y'all say? But look, Geno Smith's going to run for his life. He has offensive line. He's not geared for that. So his main thing is going to be is to establish the run. Catch the defense off balance. If he can do that, then maybe he can stay in the game. Get the defense to stay off him a little bit and get him back in the secondary. But you got to have that run working for you first. And does he have a running back that's worth a damn right now?
That's a point. Because they got rid of Rashad Perry, I think his name was. So I'm not sure who's standing in there. But you need to protect your quarterback, so your running back has got to be at least be able to block a little bit.
Right, and once again, you're talking about the Lions' defense, which is pretty solid. Yes. So, give me the Lions. Sorry,
he's on the Lions. Yeah, and think about this also. The Seahawks look like last year at the end of the year. Okay, I mean, granted, they got all the hype and everything at the beginning of the year. They were winning football games with Geno Smith, and everybody is, here's our quarterback of the future. And then week 14 starts, and then you all of a sudden see Seattle go on that downslide, and then all of a sudden, but it was enough for him to get the big contract. Congratulations! I'm never against anybody. You can get the money if you can fool them. I mean, if you can earn it in the NFL. But so that's what ended up happening. So, Tom, that being said, who do you actually have winning this game in Seattle against the Lions?
Lions by 14.
That's right. You said that, Lions. And I might actually, let me check my pick'em page. I'm almost sure I'm on the Lions, and I am on the Lions. So Seattle's actually favored in this game, just to kind of give you an idea of what that is, which I was shocked when I heard that in reality. Even by 2 or 3, I'm even shocked by that idea that they're there. But that will take us, and then we'll get Cuervo. He stepped out. He'll be back. In fact, I'll just pop him out until I see him back in the green room and put us up here. That being said, that'll take us into the next game here on the Couch Potato Sports Show, the Chargers and the Titans. Now, I don't have a lot to say about this one because, looking at who the Chargers are, who they got at the quarterback, what their thinking is as far as their future is concerned. We've talked about that for enough. It's time for Justin Herbert to put up or shut up. Last week, he wasn't able to do that. Who'd they lose to last week? That's sad when you think about, what Justin Herbert is supposed to be right now as far as the Chargers are concerned. He is the future. He signs the big contract, then goes out and just, puts out a crapper. But that happens a lot of times after someone signs the big contract. So both teams lost last week. They're both 0-1. The Titans are a little bit of a different monster. I think the Titans are a good football team because of their coaching staff. I think the Chargers are a good football team because of their actual, guys out on the football field. So here, I'm torn on how it's going to work out as far as that. But if Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack are on the field and they are going to be who they are and who they can be, this one should be an easy pick. I went Lions. I think I told you this one's a tough one because I hate coaching against players because usually coaching shows up at some point in the game, and it's usually in the fourth quarter. So I'll throw this one to you, Tom, looking at the Chargers and Titans, who you got one. Or you don't have to tell me who you got, but what are you seeing this one?
Well, I don't know. The Titans, and I'm from Tennessee, so obviously I kind of am. We get a lot of talk. We get a little talk around here about the Titans, even though I'm like 2.5 hours from Nashville. But the Titans, it seems like they're like the same script every year. I mean, and the thing is, it's weird because the Titans are really one of the only teams that really use Henry in the way that running backs are to be used, because we all know it's a quarterback only league. I mean, it's a quarterback receiver league. I mean, it's people putting up ridiculous numbers passing wise. I think that sorry, my dogs are distracting me. The thing is, Henry, that running game really does open up the pass game for the Titans.
Absolutely.
But my thing has always been their passing game, and they have great. And why they traded AJ Brown, I'll never know. That was a stupid move. That was about as dumb as the Cowboys getting rid of Amari Cooper. But you know, you get. It's like they don't want the weapons. Their offensive line is good enough, but I'm just not sold on the weapons that they have. Now the Chargers is Herbert. Is he Phillip Rivers 2.0? Phillip Rivers was always like a he was always a great. He could just never take them over that hump. And we're in what, year 3 of Herbert? Is it year 3? Okay, we're in year 3 of Herbert, and he just seems to be the same thing every year. And they're without Eckler too. I think Eckler is confirmed out for this game.
He's out.
The Chargers have better weapons. They have a better defense, I think. It's going to be a mess of a game. I think it's not going to be very entertaining to watch, I don't think. But just because Eckler's out and the Titans have Henry, I think I would probably pick the Titans over the Chargers.
Well, the only thing I'm worried about as far as the Chargers are concerned, they couldn't stop the run to save their life. Okay. And then you got Derrick Henry running your way.
Yeah, so he's a beast.
He's a beast. And never mind. The Chargers can't stop an average running back. Never mind a guy that is on the level of Derrick Henry. But here's the thing. I don't know what Justin Herbert is going to show up today is going to be the biggest question here today.
Yeah.
If they can't stop the run, you can see Derrick Henry running for 202 touchdowns. But was that going to be enough in reality? Because if you look at last week, the Chargers put up some points out on the football field. It's whether or not the defense is going to be able to stop Tennessee. And so let me rephrase that. Not stop Tennessee, stop Derrick Henry, because listen, Ryan Tannehill, as good as he was 2 and 3 years ago, last year started to show that downslope again, like he was in Miami. And normally when a guy like Tannehill goes on that downhill, they stay on that downhill, they don't get back, or they level off and say, I just suck. So the question here is how Tennessee is going to respond. Now, also being said, LA's flying cross country for an early football game. And we talk about this all the time. I mean, here on this show, how does that affect the football team? Well, it affects them a lot because they're getting that early start, plus they're flying over there. I don't understand why teams don't go 2 and maybe 3 days ahead of time, but they don't. They usually fly in the day before, and that being the case, I don't know. I don't like the fact that Eckler's out in this football game at all. That hurts this football team, especially since Tennessee can give up guys who are on the fly, sliding out of the backfield. They give up a lot of yards on that, and they got to stop it. But without having Eckler in there, that's gonna Tennessee's got one less thing to worry about without having Austin Eckler there. But it's just hard for me to pick Tennessee against a quality football team unless I start seeing more. And I know this sounds stupid, but when it comes to the running back, when it comes to Derrick Henry, before I decide to say this guy's going to be a monster for the whole year, I want to see it for at least 3 to 4 weeks that he can prove it. It's week number 2. And I don't know if I am. That's why the way I'm going to hang up on the Chargers. So, Tom, who are you looking at in this one?
It's going to be close, but I think that ultimately Henry's going to wear him down. I think I'm picking the Titans in this one. It's close, though.
Podfather, who do you have in this one?
First of all, Tom, what part of Tennessee are you from?
Knoxville, where the Vols are at. Okay,
I got you. That's where I had my little head injury right here, so that's why I'm curious about that. So it's when I saw the headbutt an 18-wheeler. Anyway, I didn't win. I won eventually, but I mean, let's face it, I'm still here. The 18-wheeler's gone now. But I'm looking at Justin Herbert the same way I'm looking at the quarterback for the Bills. He's Josh Allen, or what's his name? Josh Allen, is that right?
Yeah.
Josh Allen, yes.
A lot of hype, a lot of some pretty cool moments as a quarterback to be the leader of a team, but hasn't really shown enough.
Fully agree.
you're playing in Tennessee, and I agree. It's not going to be interesting. It's not going to be an entertaining game at all. This is going to be, at best, one of those games. Sit there and go, "Oh, great, Tennessee won." No, who gives a shit?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where I'm going to go on my pick, really, because I started with San Diego, but then once Austin Eckler was called out of the game, I'm like, well, there goes their offense, because that offense doesn't run through their quarterback; it runs through Eckler.
Absolutely.
And without him, Justin Herbert's lost.
Well, here's the good thing for them. Okay, the offensive. Well, we just lost Tom. Let me just click this off, and we'll go here with what is the deal with these teams. Okay, you got the Chargers losing last week. You have Tennessee losing last week. How bad did they lose, and why did they lose? Well, Tennessee's at least somewhat smart, realizing who they got at the quarterback position. You got to protect them. They got a great offensive line, and they're able to stop a lot of guys. That having been said, it's Joey Bosa. It's the other guys that come to play in this one. It's a little bit different from the team that you played last week. So ultimately, the Chargers have the better roster, while the Titans have the better coaching staff. Who's going to win? I'm gonna go with talent out on the football field in this game, more so because of more weapons. Because when you look at the Titans, there's only one weapon, and when you look at the other side of it, there are more weapons for the Chargers. That's the reason why I'm going to go Chargers in this one. So we lost Tom. Cuervo's still out. He should be back here fairly quickly. I'm not sure. We'll do that. But that being said, Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack, Justin Herbert, I mean, they just got everything going around. Never mind Keenan Allen catching the football. Just more talent out on the football field for them.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And once again, I'm going to go Tennessee with this, because they've got – I just think home field advantage will actually see. Unlike Cowboy Stadium or AT&T Stadium, where I did my little Dallas Cowboys show this past Thursday. I was doing some stats on that game. You know what the record for the Cowboys is at AT&T Stadium?
They're not. It's not as good as people would think.
37 and 35.
Right.
It's barely home field advantage.
It was. They weren't winning games at home at all. First 3 years, they won like 4 games max at home, and that was
Now, having said that, I have driven through downtown Nashville in the big rig when the Titans are playing.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, they fill that stadium.
They fill it, and they do it with a lot of people from Tennessee who love the fact that the Oilers came to town and have stayed there since.
Yep.
So, there's nothing wrong with fans who are committed to their team like that. I mean, I love that a lot. I mean, this is why football in St. Louis doesn't work, because no one goes.
Yep.
But I've seen their stadium before they had to close that thing down. So
2 of them.
Yeah.
2 of them.
Yeah. But the big dome one, the greatest game on turf was the latest one I saw. But Josh Allen threw 5 picks with the Bills. You don't hear them mention one time about, he's a problem of that team. He's got now. If Dak Prescott threw 5 interceptions, he'd be lit up.
I got news. Just in case you didn't know, just recently, and I'm talking about maybe 3 weeks before the season, everybody was on Josh Allen's ass just lately. So just lately, just to kind of feed. And I didn't know if you knew that, but everybody's picking Josh Allen apart because he should be the superstar that gets into the Super Bowl. Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 weeks before the season. Everybody's on Josh Allen's ass. I haven't figured that part out yet, but
yeah. I mean, the thing is that Justin Herbert's no different. That's the problem, because
exactly.
They're in that same class right now. They're in that. We want to push them to greatness, but they're not there yet. And now here might be the biggest problem. One's playing in San Diego, one's playing for Buffalo. I mean, to win in Buffalo is hard, because no one's won up there except for Jim Kelly. He didn't win. I mean, he went there, but he didn't win. Okay? San Diego, they went once. All right? And I can't even tell you who their quarterback was. So, I'm going to say Chris Chandler. That's probably wrong. But
what team were you talking about?
San Diego, when they went to the Super Bowl against the Niners, Super Bowl 29.
Dan Fouts.
No, I wasn't Dan Fouts. Dan Fouts won the Super Bowl.
What year?
1994.
It had to be Rivers, I think.
No,
it wasn't Rivers. Shoot, we'll figure that out. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'll look it up. But here's the thing though, and I've kind of come to the realization of this, and I think maybe the Cowboys are making me think this way right now. Do you remember the Ravens when they went to their first Super Bowl?
Yes.
It wasn't because of the quarterback.
Oh no, that defense was stout. It was one of the best in the league. Arguably one of the. If you go up against the '85 Bears, that's the question: were they better than the '85 Bears? And and listen, and they had nobody at the quarterback. It's so much so I can't even remember his name, but he's on ESPN all the time. I forget who he is.
And look, as much of a Cowboy fan as I am, I'm not going to say that I'm not saying they're going to go to the Super Bowl, but if they do go, it's because of that damn defense and because of the quarterback.
Well. Listen, and this is what I'll just tell you, just really quick, and before we even get to the Cowboy, you can love what you saw in week number 1. It's whether or not they can sustain that through the whole year. And
well,
now,
I've got a few stats on the Jets game that I'll replay on here that I had on my show this past week. But yeah, getting back to the Titans though, let's stay on subject here. Titans win, home field advantage. They win 20-13.
Yeah, I'm just on the other side. I'm going to take. I love the coaching staff over in Tennessee. They a lot of times when I'm looking at football games, I look at coaching if I have a question on who's the better team. And Mike Vrabel is just a guy that knows how to lead his football team and get wins that they probably shouldn't be able to get. It's kind of the little bit of the part that he had learned from Bill Belichick coaching and winning games that are questionable. And that's when you decide whether or not your football team is good. Okay, when you're Tennessee, you're playing Jacksonville. Well, Jacksonville is kind of considered the division favorite. But outside of that, you have the Colts and you have Houston. How are you fair against those two football teams? Are you going to win those games? Are you, if depending on who's on your schedule, are you going to be able to beat the Washington Commanders? Are you going to be able to beat the Bears? Are you going to be able to beat the Cardinals? These are the teams where you decide, well, that's a good football team because they can beat the teams that they're supposed to beat. The problem with the Titans, they don't always do that, especially going up against the big guns more so. And that's where I kind of slow down a little bit on the Vrabel train. I love him. I don't like him in big game situations. This is not necessarily a big game, but the only problem is that the heavy hitters that are coming in are the big game. And whether or not the Chargers can be that football team that makes it to the AFC Championship game, we're going to find out, but it will be on the shoulders of Justin Herbert without question. So that being said, of course, there he is. He is back, and then we'll shoot this right back in. So Cuervo, just really quick, we are on the Tennessee Titans taking on the Chargers. Okay. What's your take up on this one?
Yeah, I mean, Chargers. They look like the team that we expect them to be, right? Eric Coryell all over again.
Yeah.
Defense looks a little suspect. I expected more from them.
Sometimes.
And then Tennessee. Yeah, it ain't looking too hot for them.
I don't see. I mean, the only thing that I see, and this was before you get, is that offensive line for the Chargers. Okay, it is stout. It's stout, but the problem is they're still not protecting the quarterback. And I ask myself, why is that? Why is Justin Herbert not the superstar that he really should be able to be? But it's not necessarily Herbert's fault. But the problem is when he messes up, focus comes up on him because of obviously the big contract he signed. Okay, listen, Justin Herbert's going to be there for a long time now. So that being said, the focus is going to be on him. He's got to take over and command the respect of the NFL. But if he can't beat the Titans, regardless if they're flying from cross country over to Tennessee, that's a game that if that's going to be a good football team, this is a team that they should be able to beat. So a lot of times I love coaching. I was just saying this before you came on. A lot of times I love coaching. I love Mike Vrabel and everything, but the weapons that they got coming from the Chargers makes it hard for me to pick a team that sometimes don't win the big games like they're supposed to.
Right. And Tennessee was that team for a little while.
Yes.
And that was when, Derrick Henry was the dominant guy that we've known him, for him to be.
Right.
He's not quite that. I mean, he's starting to get injured now, so he's not quite that guy that he was once. And then, of course, Tennessee personnel-wise, things have changed. They get rid of A.J. Brown. They don't, the little that they got from Julio Jones, they don't have that anymore.
But they got the big guy. They got the big wide receiver out of, they got him out of Houston, went to Arizona. Where's the love affair?
But even DeAndre Hopkins is a shell of what he used to be, Sonny. So I don't know. I'm picking the Chargers. I'm sure we got a lot more games to go. Go through.
Well,
so
that's okay. We might be late.
Hey, just real quickly, Cuervo, can you name the quarterback of the Chargers back in 1994 that won the Super Bowl?
Stan Humphries.
Thank you. That's who it was. Yeah. It was an obscure name. Same thing with the Baltimore Ravens. Who's that guy? It's Trent Dilfer. But regular NFL fans might not know that. But now that quick game we covered while you were gone, the Lions and the Seahawks. What's your take up on that one? As everybody seems to be on the Lions in this one. What's your take?
Yeah, I'm surprised how flat Seattle looked. For them to lose to the Rams.
Why are you surprised? They had two offensive line tackles not in there, and plus you got a quarterback who everybody seems to want to love. But guess what? Geno Smith is Geno Smith. I told you this.
Yeah, I know, but I think your Pete Carroll hate still came out, and that's why
it is there. But
I get the Pete Carroll hate.
I think I hate Geno Smith more than I hate Pete Carroll. I hate both of them, so it sucks. It's very hard for me to pick the Seattle Seahawks ever.
Oh yeah, this is true. I want to pick Seattle. I want to pick them to bounce back and play better. I just don't think against Detroit that's going to be the game that they bounce back in. So give me the Lions. And one side note, I think Seattle, no matter how much it takes, I think they need to cut ties with Jamal Adams because the guy can't get on the field. He can't get on the field.
You're right. Availability, more important than ability. You're absolutely right, and that's a suck up. How much of the salary cap that guy's eating up?
You know what? You take the dead money this year and you spend it wisely next year.
I fully agree with you. But here's also another thing. Both the tackles, the starting tackles, are not going to be in this game again. So there's 2 weeks without the starting tackles right there who made Geno Smith look as good as he did last year. We can sit here and argue it all day long, but at the same time, Geno Smith is Geno Smith. He is who he is, and I don't have that much. I'm on the Lions as well on that one. Now, that's it. Let's head into the big game for Cuervo. He's wearing the jersey, and there was some chatter from Cuervo about his quarterback and Ohio State, which by the way I laugh because Obi is a big Ohio State fan, so I got a double laugh out of that one. That being said, the Bears and the Buccaneers. This is the quarterback toilet bowl. I swear, depending on what you think. I mean, I'm still got a little love for Baker Mayfield because of what he did with the Browns. But this was the toughest game that I had, and the old couch potato quarter it was ready for flipping. I have not filled the bubble, so I'm going to throw
You
this
don't
one
need
to
to fill
Cuervo. Tell me who'd have taken this game.
Tampa.
That's what I was thinking.
So I'm done.
And coming from the Bears fan, if the Bears fan saying taking Tampa, I hold on. Just filled the bubble. That was the only one that was open because this game is going to be this game. I don't know if we'll even see it on Red Zone, unless they're really bad turnovers or whatever the case may be. So you might want to have a full frame on your Bears, by itself, and another watching Red Zone on this one. I don't know how the Bears get out of their way, and Baker Mayfield don't even have to be a great quarterback to win this football game. Why? Because where is the Lions defense or the Bears defense? The Bears defense is almost non-existent, Cuervo. That was a disgusting game last week. Never mind offensively, it was bad enough, but when your defense, your team is known for defense, and no defense shows up, it's really tough. It's a tough watch. How hard was it to watch that game last week?
This is really hard, especially it's Green Bay.
Yes,
that's the game you want to win every year. Like
absolutely.
other games, hey, if you win, great. If not, you try to.
What is 105 years they've been playing? 105? Is that what it is?
Yeah, something like that. I think 1970.
It's over 100. I know it's over 100.
Yeah.
So but
over 150 games played between each other.
Yep, and over 100 years
now
of playing, is like crazy. So, Buccaneers, Podfather, Buccaneers, are you gonna take a flyer on the Bears this week?
Last week, Cuervo, I give you 100% credit on this because I think had any of the Bears watched our show, they'd have been inspired by what you said. But clearly none of them did. And
listen.
And I'm the one who I picked Justin Fields as my fantasy quarterback. His backup was Jordan Love.
Oh.
And Jordan Love won that one. So
you have to flip those.
Yeah, pretty much. And the funny thing is, I got rid of Justin Fields. Guess what I picked up? Baker Mayfield.
There you go.
So,
I don't blame you.
So
listen, Baker might have a big. I mean, fantasy wise, he may have a big game. And after this game, we're going to be talking about the flex.
I'll tell you what,
for Cuervo, but it could be a big game for Baker if he's able to connect with his wide receivers, Mike Evans, and all those guys.
Guess what I did, Podfather? I picked up Tampa Bay's defense.
Okay.
Wow.
So I mean, I still got the Niners defense. I'm gonna hold true with them. But look, I really wanted the Bears to do what Cuervo asked them to do. I really did. I thought it was their time. Now that you've gotten the big hiccup out of the way, I think you could have actually moved forward with that. But they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Having said that, I didn't think that Baker Mayfield was going to show anything for Tampa Bay. Boy, was I wrong.
Hurt your feelings.
Kind of did.
So we didn't have a lot to talk about on that one. I didn't think we would, but
no, but I mean, I'm going to go Bucks. As my pick, and as of right now, not even a close one. As much as I hate to say that for Cuervo, because I want Cuervo's team to do good. I really do.
I do too. I picked them to win the damn division. So yeah, I want them to come back just so I can say that they. Yeah. But man, right now that ship is sinking, and it seems like.
I mean, the bad thing is if we're all going on week one, I'm not saying the Packers are world beaters. They look pretty damn dominant in that game. So I think I'm not saying Jordan Love's has it all figured out because he doesn't. It's too early in the game to know all that. But I do think that Justin Fields has had enough time now to figure out if he's a real NFL quarterback, even though I know he's only been here for 1 full year. But as that 1 full year, he was there. And he got lit up so bad that it's hard to go that it's hard to go the Bears way right now. It hurts me.
Yeah.
It hurts me to say that.
Pains me to say, but yes,
I mean,
yeah,
not as much as it would be. Not as much as it would be.
but
if
he's
the
going to
Cowboys
wear
had
the
gone.
jersey. I get it. I mean,
Bro, you
I
do your
didn't
thing.
pick the Jaguars. They're not going to win today, but I'm going to wear my jersey. It was messing up the green screen, so I couldn't keep it on. So I had to switch to a different one.
You do see the name on here, right? On my shirt, Shane Taylor.
Yeah,
Yeah. He's right behind you, by the way.
Yeah, he's behind me. That's one of the funniest videos ever. I laugh every time I say it. It's so good. But all right, so no one's on the Bears. Go ahead, Cuervo. Yeah,
No, nobody needs to be on the Bears because the whole point is to get the picks correctly and win.
Absolutely,
not
get
get
the
them wrong.
and
So
keep your heart out of it. That
Yes.
because I came this close to picking the Jaguars, so I'm glad you pulled the trigger on them a little bit to give me a little bit of hope going into that one. So. Now, interestingly enough, we go from the Bears losing to the Green Bay Packers to the Packers taking on the Falcons. This is an interesting game. Well, you got your finger up, Cuervo. What?
Yeah, I got against in my game. I got your fantasy lock.
Oh, the fantasy lock. What is it as far as that? As far as it's the defense for the.
Well, that's like the mini lock.
Oh, that's the
big lock. The big lock is going to be Mike Evans.
Oh God,
Mike Evans is going to
should have a big game if Baker knows where he's at.
He'll torch that secondary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was actually going to go to the Packer Falcon game, but I want to go to this first. It's where everybody is going to pick Cuervo's flex guy. And so as of right now, you got the lock in of Mike Evans. I see that right there. That's and I don't know. So are the teams that the guys that are there, the ones in the blue? Oh no. So you have Waddle in, which is a good pick. So it's White from Tampa Bay.
Yep.
McLaren. And now you have Laporta sitting on, you got him on the bench, as well as Mooney. I'm not going to take Mooney, and I'm not going to take Laporta. I think out of those two that are there, I think I like White as well. But I think, but most of it, you know, I think Mike Evans might get all of them. So I think I'd probably go McLaren. Podfather, out of from White, McLaren, Laporta, and Mooney, who are you picking if you have a flex spot on this?
Or keep Evans in.
Oh, wait. Evans is your flex guy?
Yes.
Who's your starters?
Well, as you can see right there, Jalen Waddle, and my number one receiver is Justin Jefferson.
Okay, all right. So it's either then that's easy. I pick Evans. I mean, and then McLaren. I mean, I think that's easy in reality. I mean, Podfather, what do you think?
Where you have it now is where you have it be. I mean, because McLaren would be my other choice, but
that's my number two.
I mean, you know,
boy, that's amazing. You have Waddle ahead of Evans in this one. You know, Cindy, I would think that Waddle would be the one you would think for the flex spot more so than Waddle being in. So I find that very interesting.
Well, for me, I think Waddle's he's a every week starter.
I think he is too. Even with Tyreek on the other side, he's got to be. So yeah. Now, if you have Tyreek, you're definitely ripping the meat from the bones in reality. But yeah,
right.
I like it. I like it a lot, as they say.
So keep it where it's at, then, is what you're saying.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So yeah, I think that's where I would keep it. I thought Evans was your guy. I thought you had 3 wide receivers.
Yeah, well, I do have 3 receivers starting. Jefferson, he actually did good for me, even though he didn't score. He had a lot of catches, a lot of yards because I do PPR.
So that's what he does, and that's the reason why he's a fantasy guy. And I was on the freaking freaking Vikings on Thursday night, if they didn't turn the ball over 4 freaking times, they would have won that game.
Well, here's the crazy part. If I had have told you that Vikings win a close game or lose a close game, but they turned the ball over 4 times, your first question would probably be, well, how many interceptions did Kirk Cousins throw, right?
Exactly.
And you know what? Say what you want about Kirk Cousins. He played a good game. He had a good game.
And in prime time.
But the special teams and the running game is what did him.
Oh, man.
And then,
4 turnovers.
Let's talk about this real quick because I want to get your guys' opinion. It was a hot topic on Friday. The rule of the ball when it the fumble in the end zone that goes
for a touchback. I seen it immediately.
Right. So, what's your guys' take on that rule, though? Does it need to be changed? Is it fair how it is now? Like, what do you guys think anything needs to be changed on that rule? Because, obviously because it's Justin Jefferson, he's one of the stars of the league. Now people, just like with the Rodgers thing, he got hurt on natural turf or whatever, right? Or whatever they have in Jersey.
Artificial turf, yeah.
The artificial. So, of course, we got to change that now because it was Aaron Rodgers that got hurt. Well, now we need to change that fumbling in the end zone rule because it was Justin Jefferson. But if it was, Michael Gallup with the Cowboys, we probably wouldn't we wouldn't even blink to even consider changing.
Okay. No, I'm missing this. I missed the play. What happened exactly again?
So it was right before halftime. So it was a crucial point of the game. Cousins hits Justin Jefferson. He's running down the sideline, and he goes to reach for the end zone. Ball gets knocked out about a yard before. Ball goes into the end zone.
Yeah,
so it becomes a touchback.
Right.
Well, people are screaming that rule needs to change.
No, because the thing is, the last person to have possession of the ball was Jefferson. But the ball falls out in the end zone. That takes it back to the 20 or 25, whatever they're calling whatever touchback is nowadays. But no, if the last person to touch the ball and actually have possession was the defender, then it's their ball. That's just the rule. I
the only thing on that, I don't have anything bad to say about the rule per se. If I changed it, I would change it to where if the ball goes out of bounds like the way it did without a defender possessing it, that would be my change. The fact that it went out of bounds without anybody touching it, I would like to see that ball at the 1 yard line. But I'm not totally against the rule in reality. I'm not up in arms about that rule. I'm not even up in arms about the artificial turf, because the artificial turf, if you go back into years, go back to Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, you want to talk bad artificial turf? That's what you were playing on. You were pretty much playing on cement and 3 inches of turf, and that's about it.
Texas Stadium was just as bad.
Yeah, just as bad. Exactly.
Texas Stadium was like playing the game on Highway 187 or it was over there.
Let me tell you something. It's all about how pretty it looks on TV, and it's, at least back in the day, and they didn't care about the players. They don't care about them today either, but they got to act like they do. So it's more in the fact of that. But yeah, I get you, Cuervo. I get you. I'm not really up in arms about that one because I think that rule's been so instilled into me, old school, like, okay, that's the way it is. It's the way. But if I was to change it, I would say a defender has to possess the ball before going out of bounds and then give it to him. And that's the only thing I would change if I was going to change it.
I remember years ago, the Cowboys were playing the Eagles on Monday Night Football. And Deshaun Jackson caught a pass, was running towards the end zone, got to the 1 yard line, and went to spike the ball, thinking he got in the end zone.
Yep.
And the Cowboys were the last one to touch it.
Couldn't have happened to a better person.
I know, right? Right. and then they ruled it a touchdown for something. Well, I'll say he didn't cross the boundary with the football. The last person to touch it was the Cowboys. And so I love it. I mean, it's one of my favorite moments of Monday Night Football when he did that because A, I'm not an Eagles fan at all, and B, it inspired my team. But I mean, it's amazing because a lot of players, when they put the ball out there like that, you know, they're already saying, "Look, there's no question I could lose this at any time, but I'm just stretching to get where I have to get to. If as long as he can cross the plane with the ball, it's not a touchdown, it's a touchback. So
exactly. And by the way, there's one player in NFL history that would have never happened to, and he wore a Bears uniform. I'm telling you right now, Walter Payton, even though he put it out there all the time, he knew he was going to get in. More so that you didn't see it very often with him doing that unless they were really far away. If it was close, you wouldn't have seen Walter Payton not have two hands on that damn ball until he got into the end zone, unless they were 10 yards back. Is the only time he ever did it. But if it was even close, you would not have seen Walter Payton do that. It's because that's who he is. It's Walter Payton. So, but
well, he was special.
So definitely. All right, Packers, Falcons. Both teams win last week. No big surprise from this guy. I picked. Well, I didn't pick the Packers, but more than the fact that I wasn't downing Jordan Love, if you remember correctly, and that it's hard to judge who Jordan Love is going to be. He was behind with one of the GOATs, that being Aaron Rodgers. Did he learn something by carrying the clipboard for 2 or 3 years? I don't know. Maybe he did or maybe he didn't. But Jordan Love was a big reason why they won last week. However, the Falcons, interesting football team. I don't think they're all that talented. But guess what? When you are not all that talented, you still got to win football games that maybe you shouldn't. But I did pick the Falcons last week. I didn't pick Jordan Love. He played very well, but it was the Bears. Okay, say whatever you want about that defense. Hell, I could probably went out there and completed a couple of passes against that Bears defense, as bad as it was. That having been said, now if Atlanta's offense, in reality, Packers are going to have to stop the Atlanta offense in the running game. In reality, because I don't think Reader's going to be one of these guys that are on here. So, what did you see last week, Cuervo, that you can bring into this week's game as far as the Packers and the Falcons are concerned?
Well, I can speak a little bit more on Green Bay than I can Atlanta because I watched that game a lot more than I did the Atlanta game. For Green Bay, so it's going to be interesting because no Aaron Jones today for them.
That's a big loss for them.
Yeah, so they're going to have to rely on A.J. Dillon to carry the load in the backfield. For let me see. Oh, I think Bakhtiari's out too. I want to say Bakhtiari is out for the Packers today too.
That's not good.
That's a big deal. That one's a big deal. But yeah, so A.J. Dillon's going to get the start. They may get Watson back. I don't know. But, for Atlanta, offensively, guys dropping passes everywhere from what I saw. Drake London was my fantasy lock last week, and he got 0 points. So maybe I need to quit the whole fantasy lock thing because it don't seem like I'm doing very hot with it. So maybe Mike Evans will come through for me today.
Hey, it might happen.
It might happen. It might happen. But, I it's hard not to pick, Atlanta to lose. You'll never hear me say Green Bay wins. It's just Atlanta's going to lose.
It's tough, buddy. It's tough, buddy. We'll get through this. Trust me.
It's not easy. It's not easy being a Bears fan.
Man, this game, hey, Podfather, this one should have the couch potato quarter out there. I'm not going to tell you who I'm going to pick yet, but
you don't need that.
I don't. Well,
you don't
listen. If you want to ignore what Jordan Love did last week,
I'm not. That's why I'm saying Atlanta's going to lose.
Yeah, it's like, I got it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But So, Podfather, you're on Green Bay in this one?
Yeah, Green Bay all the way. I mean, although they're going to Atlanta,
Yeah.
and Atlanta's not exactly a Philly crowd, but not exactly the a good crowd to be around anyway. You know, I haven't seen enough of the quarterback to really know what they got.
Right.
Green Bay looked dominant against the Bears. I'm sorry. I mean, I hate to say it, but they were. I think Green Bay listened to what Cuervo had to say more than the Bears had to listen to what Cuervo had to say.
Yeah, I motivated the wrong team.
Yeah, I know, right? So, I mean, look, Jordan Love showed me that he can play.
Right.
And I want to see him play some more. I'm not saying I'm a fan of his, but I want to see him do more. And I think Atlanta brings a different type of challenge to him. He's going to have some injuries that are going to be something he's got to play off of. But we'll look out that window. The quarterback has that as well. So, but I picture being a close game as far as no more than either team will score no more than 24 points. But
this one kind of got me, though. I mean, if you look at the quarterback and Jordan Love, who did they beat last week? They beat the Bears. Well, if you flip it on Desmond Ridder, who did they beat? They beat the Panthers, and that was a 24-10 win. I mean, yeah, so much so. So when I was looking at who was picking what, and this is a 50-50. I mean, there's no right or wrong pick here. In reality,
there is if you lose.
Well, there is.
I mean, you're a point off.
Say that again.
If you lose, you're a point off.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That I don't want to lose the point. It strikes me now. This is that in between game that just
there is a right or wrong pick.
There is a right. Yeah, see,
there is a right. There is a right or wrong.
Okay, and if you win, you're right. That's how that works.
I mean. But more in the fact that who were you more impressed, regardless of who they were playing? I think what I was looking at is Jordan Love, the expectations of that game and what he was going to do, really kind of had me questioned, about who was going to pick in the game. However, I'm not going to go off of my first initial pick. My first initial pick is to go ahead and be right on Green Bay. Based upon kind of what I've seen. And then because I do that usually, and then I go back a day or two later after I looked at the games to find out, is that the right pick? I haven't been able to come off the Green Bay Packers on this one in reality. I don't know if it's because I don't trust Ridder or what it is, more than the fact that they're at home. So it was a tough thing, but I think what got me more so is that the way that Jordan Love played up under all the pressure in the world. Listen, when you're replacing a GOAT, okay, the feeling is that, when you replace a GOAT, that it's going to take a while. And Jordan Love, I think, had carried the clipboard long enough and seen situational things that happened in the game that makes him that much better than Ridder right now. So I'm actually on Green Bay as well. So we're all on Green Bay. So that leads us to another useless game. Someone's in the green room. I didn't look there. I did not see him there. So let's do it. Let's bring him in. Yeah, Mr. Obi is in the house. I love it. Good to see Obi-Wan. How you doing, Obi? Good to see you.
Hopefully Sonny didn't make you wait too long.
I was in here for like 15 minutes. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I am. Hey, you're lucky I see you.
He will do that, by the way.
You're lucky I see you at all.
So I was able to hear what you guys had to say about the Falcons-Packers game. I'm going with the Packers.
Yeah. That's a tough one to be on an island with, in reality. I was thinking, it's bad enough I was on an island with the freaking Vikings, by the way.
Yeah.
Being on an island of this one, I don't think I want to be on that island.
Before we move forward with the games, I just want to say, I think I witnessed and watched the worst college football game by a team played
Hold on.
last
Were you
night.
were you up at midnight watching that game?
Good Lord, yes. So,
Go
hot
on,
topic.
so there you
So, ASU played Fresno State last night. ASU was playing at home, and their starting quarterback was a true freshman. He was out for the game because of injury. So their backup came in, who was a starter for like 8 games last year. He came in. He got hurt in the first quarter. Did something to his ankle. Couldn't even walk on it. So they bring in the third string quarterback, who was the ex-quarterback of Notre Dame, Drew Pine. He came in. His first 2 possessions, he fumbled.
Oh my God!
Then he threw a couple of interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
So at halftime, the score was 16-0 Fresno State. ASU had 5 possessions. 4 of them were on turnovers. They turned the ball over, and the other one they lost on downs at the 2-yard line. Ready to score. Final score 29-0. ASU ended up having 8 turnovers last night.
Oh my God! Hard to be a Sun Devil fan for the last 20 years, Obi, I'm telling you.
Ugly.
Like, damn.
Look,
I get it.
Look, I represent them because I have their best player ever, Danny White, up here on my wall. Okay,
well, Obi knows a little bit about Danny White and the Arizona Rattlers. You know, he is just like some love there for Danny. I get it.
Yeah,
but
that was back in the heyday for ASU.
Back in the heyday. Now we got to keep our eye out because coming in a little bit late will be Bryce from Brooklyn. So he said he'd be in a little late.
I'm ready
for the Monday Night Football game to talk about. So we're ready for that.
But popcorn.
Yeah, no kidding. Break it out. I'm ready. I wish I would have went out and bought me some popcorn. That's going to be fun to watch. Now, going to get to another horrible game here so we can move on and make sure we got enough time for it. Colts and Texans. God, the couch potato quarter is getting a lot of work this week. And I did flip it. This one's a horrible football game. I don't know. Cuervo, is there a reason to pick one of these teams?
Because you have to. Yeah,
you have to.
Well, you don't
decide you have to.
Okay, so look, Sonny, I'll make this easy for you. Pick the Colts or the better team. Move on. Go.
Fair enough.
I'm
sure Obi's probably going to go with Houston.
Are they though? So Obi, are they though? Are the Colts better
here's
than
right
Houston?
There. I'm going to be truly honest with you guys. I took not the couch potato quarter, but the open hour quarter, and I flipped it 5 times. I flipped it 5 times. And 3 out of the 5 times.
You still didn't get a winner, right?
3 out of 5 times it came up with the Houston Texans. So I'm going with the Texans today.
Shocker.
This one's still blank on my page. Thanks, Obi, for that informative thing to help me pick this game. I appreciate that.
I've got all the research. All the watching the games, the research, the highlights, all stuff came down to 5 coin tosses.
That
led to this.
So, in other words, I'm spending too much time talking about this game. Cuervo, who'd you pick?
Move on.
I'll do one better for you guys.
Okay.
I've got my Xbox controller here. I'm going to the game on Madden, all right? I'll let you know what the results are.
Okay.
Just simulate the game, see what the final score is.
Right. I'll start it right now.
Parts of me wants to pick Indianapolis, but I wasn't impressed with them in week number 1. That's where I'm having a hard time picking this game. So, Cuervo, who'd you take and why?
I'm leaning towards the Colts. I kind of like what I saw from them. They showed a lot of fight against Jacksonville. And, in Houston, sorry, Obi.
Houston is Houston, and I love their coach, by the way, but they just look discombobulated all over the place. I mean, they didn't look like they were in sync with anything. That's another reason why I'm leaning Colts on this one more so than Houston.
Sonny, if we can go one day without you ever saying that word one more time, discombobulated.
No, I'm doing. You see, you're missing it. I'm doing that on purpose because I can't pronounce it, but I just want to say it. So
Well, don't do it again, okay?
No, I'm going to continue doing it because that's me. You don't want to listen to me pronounce some of the names that come up in high school football. I almost go new dude number one is what I usually do.
Do
but
that.
I try to do. Yeah, I do that.
Number 87, he's got it on, but we don't know what her name is. Go ahead.
Yeah, dude. So, all right. So I guess I'm on Indianapolis because I did flip the couch potato quarter and it did land on Indianapolis' size.
I didn't see you do it. So did you really do it?
Yeah. You didn't see it go up?
No.
That's it.
Okay. Well, there.
Oh, what's
this
on
is
now?
the second, even the second time it came on Indianapolis. So, all right.
God.
So you just didn't see it, I guess. I did flip it though.
Okay.
But,
all right.
So I'm on Indianapolis,
We'll be right back,
and I don't even know why. So but that being said, we got the California Bowl going. We'll get Cuervo back here in just a moment, I imagine. We got the California Bowl going. The 49ers and the Rams, by the way, the only one that picked the Rams over Seattle. Sorry, I just had to do that. Just for me, I mean, I do have the laugh track too. So. Back out there, I was the only one that was on that island with the Rams. No one trusted the Rams, but I don't trust them this week. I mean, God, did the 49ers look like a Super Bowl contending football team last week, Obi?
Yes, they did. They did very much so. They came into Pittsburgh and bitch slapped
them. They bitch slapped them all over the football.
I just want to say that to Bryce today. They came into Pittsburgh and bitch slapped them.
Oh, they did, and they slapped them all over the field. It was horrible. It was bad, but I can't wait till Bryce gets in here. And listen, you know what? This is what sucked. Okay, I picked the Steelers before Bryce came in, and then when Bryce started talking, I even got more love. I was loving it. I was going, yeah, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then all of a sudden, I mean, it wasn't like 3 or 4 minutes before I was like, son of a. and I can't even blame Bryce because I picked him before Bryce came on, so I can't even blame Bryce for it, which sucks, but it is what it is. But that being said, the 49ers and Rams are going to go head to head. Podfather, Rams, 49ers. Who do you got?
I want the Rams to beat the living hell out of Brock Purdy.
But
it's not going to happen.
Okay, there's a big butt coming.
Yeah, that's the butt. It ain't going to happen. Look, right now.
Yeah.
Keeping it real.
Right now, I'm glad you're laughing at that. But I think the Niners right now they're definitely top of the class right now.
Right now?
Everybody, until further notice, until someone knocks off the perch, it's going to be a while. It's going to be a long season if you're not a Niners fan, that's for sure.
Yes.
But it's a divisional game. Divisional games are different. So we'll see what happens.
I don't know, man. I told you Geno Smith would turn into Geno Smith. I tried to warn y'all, but a lot of times, it comes up. But this week, I like the Rams, by the way, just to let you know, but they got too many holes right now when the most complete team looks like the 49ers, OB. I mean, as far as, from week one, looking at week one and where they, by the way, I love how you remodeled your home. It looks beautiful back there. I didn't realize, you remodeled your home. It's just so beautiful.
Yes.
You did good. I appreciate you.
Well, I figured you guys would get tired of looking at this stupid bookshelves and all that bullshit behind me. So
I'm surprised you
get on this morning and see if I could. It was either this or a brick wall.
Or I could, if you want, I'll make you a Cleveland Brown, fandemonium one in the back, and I can.
By the way, I do. So my little intro, that picture that you have of me.
Yes.
God, please change that, and also take the damn Cardinals emblem off of there. God.
Well, do you got any better pictures than that? I don't know. I kind of like that picture. It makes me smile. But okay, I'll take it off. I'll make you a new one.
I do have some better pictures. I'll send them.
You send me some better pictures. I had to cut that one out because your wife was on your shoulder. So,
okay.
You had your arm around your wife. On
my better half was on my shoulder? Okay.
Definitely your better half. But, yeah, so it's, by the way, out of all your wives, that's the one I like the best, just so that you know. Anyway, that being said, I think this one was too easy, so we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. But there is a game that, even though you don't want that Cardinal thing, there's a good game brewing between two bad football teams, and I always like to watch games like this. You've got the Giants and the Cardinals. No clue who to pick in this game. I mean, and Podfather said he's got some stats that are coming from that game regarding the Giants, and he's probably more leaning Cowboys more so than Giants. But I mean, Cardinals and Giants. I mean, I know who I think I should pick, which is the Giants. I mean, the Cardinals are just awful. I mean, I'll. Chuck
that was terrible. Crazy knucklehead are terrible.
They're terrible, man. They're just and talk about just trashing the season just to get the number one. That's what I'm expecting from the Cardinals. And there's no reason or rhyme behind it except for the fact that I think the Cardinals, however, and I wish Cuervo was here because that quarterback, Dobbs, he actually showed me something, because the expectations of the Cardinals with, this season are not there. I'm not saying they should be there with Dobbs, but at least he showed some stones, right? This guy went in there and he tried to win a football game, which with the team that they have was a miracle that they even stayed into it. So there he is, Cuervo. Dobbs is your boy. I mean, he's Tennessee Vol guy, right? For the Arizona Cardinals. He went in there and he actually showed me something last week, even though everybody and their mother knew that Arizona was going to win, but he surely tried to put a little heartbeat in the other team, a little irregular heartbeat going on in there. So a week under his belt, does the Arizona Cardinals have an opportunity against the Giants? I mean, they played Washington last week, damn near won that game, actually. What do you think? I mean, the Giants played. God, they just did not show up. And every team has that. Do you expect the Giants to continue on that pattern? Or do the Arizona Cardinals actually have a chance to win this game?
Well, I mean, there's always a chance, right? But I don't know that it's going to happen. Look, I think the Giants is an example of how you can't really read too much into week one. I don't think the Giants are as bad of a team as they looked last Sunday night.
Oh God, they're
better than that. They're better for whatever reason, though.
You would not know from watching that game.
Well, you couldn't tell. That's true.
Well, you could say they were the Houston Texans, for God's sake. That's how bad they played.
Yeah, you would think it was their team just dressed up in Giants uniforms, but I fully expect the Giants to bounce back today against Arizona. What's
the weather like, though? Where are they playing?
It's in Arizona.
Oh, they got the dome. So
what's the weather like there?
I'm okay. If it was going to rain or be a sloppy, I would probably go Arizona. I'd be the only one. But if this game was in New York, rainy and sloppy, I'd take Arizona. I think Dobbs has got listen, I thought he played halfway decent. He's going to be a great backup quarterback in the NFL, or a horrible starting quarterback for a bad football team if someone decides that they think he's going to be good enough. So I just think it's better with him in Arizona. Go ahead, Pod.
I have my prediction for this game.
Okay.
The New York Giants, the New York Football Giants, will score their first ever points in this game this year.
That is a slap the table, Sonny.
That is. I just did it. I'm sorry, I don't have room for that. but maybe this is But thank you for that words of wisdom there.
I wish in our pick'em thing we can predict ties because I could see a 3-3 tie easy in this game.
Well, yeah, no one gets any points on a tie on the.
Yeah,
on the
I know, but I know. So, but look,
gotta pick one.
You gotta pick one. I'm picking the Giants. Move on.
Cuervo Giants.
G-Man.
Giants.
Giants. I do have to say something.
I
do have to say something about this game. Are you ready? What week are we in?
Week 2. Mm-hmm.
This is a must-win for the Giants.
Oh God!
If
are
they
we
don't
really going
win
there
this
already?
game, they are going to be 2 games behind the Cowboys, and they're done.
Wow. Even in the NFC East, they'd be done. I mean, geez, considering the history of the NFC East going down to the last week
They're
of
done.
even if they start as bad as they do.
Eagles are 2-0.
Yeah.
Cowboys are going to be 2-0 after today. And the Giants are going to be 0-2. 2 games behind.
Well,
already after week 2.
Listen, you evidently don't know the history of this division. It don't matter. 2-game lead in that, but Dallas being what they were. Speaking of that, Dallas take on the Jets. The Jets don't have their go. They don't have their go.
They don't have God.
They don't God. Yeah, they don't have God. That being said, Podfather said that he had some interesting numbers in this one. Go with it. I'm buying into what you're going to sell. So what are you selling?
Okay. For those who don't know, I do a Dallas Cowboys show on Thursday nights at 6 p.m. before football starts for the week, and I did a quick study on the history of the Jets and the Cowboys. Not that really matters because they don't play each other for like every 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Dallas has the series lead 7-5, kind of close. The the win-loss record for the Dallas Cowboys at AT&T Stadium is 37-35.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no home field advantage there. Cowboys.
Not great. It's never been great.
So you will see more shades of green than you'll see shades of blue or silver at the Cowboys Stadium.
That would not shock me.
Okay. The last time Dallas beat the Jets was 2009.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Well, 12 years ago.
I think Wade Phillips.
13.
Wade Phillips is either Wade Phillips or Jason Garrett was the coach at the time. So
that just goes to show how long that was horrible that Jason Garrett was the head coach of the team.
So look.
Was Tony Romo the quarterback?
I think he was.
Yeah.
Jason Garrett?
No. Tony Romo, sir. You should pay attention.
No, Garrett coaching. Was Tony Romo the quarterback?
Look, having said that, Micah Parsons has to get that defense and do a Cuervo speech with them and say, look, guys, we got to make sure no one scores on us. No one. We did that last week. We got to do it this week. Ain't going to happen, I know. But
imagine 6 shutouts in a row.
I know, right? But
that's hard.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to do unless you're playing Madden on easy. But look, you have to sit there and Micah Parsons is a true leader of that team. It ain't Dak Prescott.
There ain't no question. He is the man.
As far offensively, Dallas needs to. I like that they didn't go into their playbook a lot. They didn't have to. It didn't feel like they had to show. They didn't have to do. They didn't have to do what we see in pro wrestling, where a guy goes up there and shows all of his moves in one match and go, "What else he got? Well, it was all in." No, we saw parts of their offense mainly because of weather conditions. So we have no weather conditions here inside the Death Star, so we're good to go there. So I think, my opinion, Cowboys will win. It will not be as blown out of a game as we saw last week, unfortunately. I think the Jets will get some points on the board. I think it'll be close until about the fourth quarter. But I think because Dallas will play down to your competition. They've always done that.
They do.
Yeah. And
especially at home.
And Zach Wilson, Justin Fields took it to the Cowboys last year, didn't he? Was it Justin Fields? Justin Fields. Didn't the Bears play the Cowboys last year?
Yeah,
Didn't they give the Cowboys a run for their money?
for a while, and then the
Yeah.
Cowboys blew it up in the fourth.
Yeah. So once again, I think you can see the same exact thing here, and it's a wake up call for them because we thought we were so great here. Why were we not great in our own home city, in our own hometown?
Yes.
But once again, they struggle against AFC teams. The record against AFC teams is 110 wins over 88 losses.
I get it.
So they don't play so well against teams they barely ever see.
Yeah.
So it's hard to pick a game like this because of what we saw week 1.
Absolutely.
But it would have been different had Aaron Rodgers stayed healthy.
Oh, without question.
So because
and the Jets defense is nothing to slouch at. And so
but here's the thing. Here's the thing though. You have the New York Jets. They got to win. Losing Aaron Rodgers, they got to win. It's an emotional win. It was great for them that they did all that. That's their high. You have Dallas's win, which was dominating in the very same stadium where the Jets won. The same conditions as well. You destroyed your divisional rival.
Right.
So I think that outweighs the emotional win that the Jets had.
Could be.
Having said that, Cowboys win. I'm done.
All right, Cuervo, what's your take? I mean, obviously, no GOAT. One of the GOATs at the quarterback position. You got Zach Wilson now for the Jets. Listen, if Aaron Rodgers was in this game, I'd pick the Jets. And that's how good he is. I hate the fact he is that good, but he is. But he's not there today, and that swarming defense from the Cowboys were all over the field. The Jets have a good defense, but man, who showed up more last week on the defensive side of the ball was the Cowboys. I don't expect any different this week, especially with the deficiencies that are on the Jets' offensive line, never mind at quarterback.
Yeah, you said GOAT. I thought you were talking about Micah Parsons because he's well on his way to being one of the GOATs.
Yeah, he's going to be one of them.
Players. So.
Yeah.
I know you're not talking about.
Possibly this generation's Lawrence Taylor.
He's on his way to being that. Definitely. Because I know he wasn't talking about the guy that is supposed to be the Jets quarterback. I know he's not talking about that guy. He's not talking
about No, must not
the
be.
Hatred for that guy is.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I understand that. I mean, listen. Michael Irvin is one of them. Deion Sanders is another one. I can't stand these down. I can't. I get it. I got hate for both of them. I understand. But so you're a Cowboy. You're on the Cowboys this week, there, Cuervo.
No, even with that guy at quarterback,
even with Sharon Rodgers,
even with Sharon Rodgers, I would still pick Dallas.
Sharon Rodgers, I like that.
Yeah, Sharon Rodgers. Yeah, Obi. Hey, Jets defense good enough for this week to maybe stop Dak Prescott, throw 4 touchdowns or interceptions, and get in. No. I'm trying to sell this.
I said it earlier when we were talking about
I was trying to change your mind. I
Cowboys,
heard you.
Cowboys win. I mean, it's not going to be as dominating as it was last week.
Yeah,
the Cowboys will win. I'll be surprised if the Jets score over 10 points.
That defense is swarming. It's going to be
something like, I think it's going to be something like maybe 20-10, 20-7.
Yeah.
I don't think the Cowboys are going to run away with it because the Jets defense is legit.
It is legit. That's why I almost feel bad for them because I think I think they can be just that good. If it wasn't for the fact that listen, Dak did not have a bad game last week. So, he had
a lot of drop passes. So but again, ball was wet. Field conditions are awful.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is what it is. I mean, it's a legitimate thing. If you're going to take legitimate for Aaron Rodgers to hurt himself on a bad field, use the same excuse for why people are dropping passes.
Yeah, that's a fluke. By the way,
look. I'm I'm right there with everybody here about the Cowboys. Obviously, it's going to be up to the Dallas defense to keep their offense on the field longer.
Absolutely.
To wear out the Jets defense.
Yeah.
So turnovers, sacks, 3 downs and out. That's going to be the key to the game right there.
If the Jets are able to stop Dak Prescott and keep him off the field, the defense may play good for 3 quarters, but if they're out there too damn much, they might be sucking air in the 4th quarter because they don't have any offense. That's what you always got to worry with Dallas and Dak Prescott. What game is he not going to show up in, and what game is the defense going to have to go out there and win the game for you? And I don't know if it's this week. I doubt it. Zach Wilson is not a good quarterback. Dak Prescott, and listen, if you don't think Dak Prescott's a better quarterback than Zach Wilson, you don't know football. But you add the added element of that defense up on top of it is another one. So,
the one thing Dak Prescott's missing right now that he's had forever is a tight end.
Yes.
And I know Jake Ferguson is his new tight end that he has to become more aware with.
It's not what
you know what? There's no chemistry there right now. I saw more chemistry between over in Colorado with Sadir Sanders and his third receiver.
Yep.
The little white guy that kept running and grabbing touchdowns left and right. So look, it's going to be a lot to take in. And once again, Cowboy Stadium, not the greatest stadium to play football in. I've been there once, and there's no home field advantage. That's a problem. That I don't care what Jerry says. By the way, at about 7:00 today, when the game starts getting really good, and you start seeing the light coming through the windows because Jerry didn't realize to build the stadium when you can block out the freaking, or God forbid, put blinds up when you're going to do it for YouTube come to town. Why not do it when you're?
How much money did he spend on that monitor? Could you throw some money in for blinds and make sure the sun's in everybody's face?
Here's the thing, they have blinds.
How much money does it take? I don't need blinds.
Sonny, they have blinds there because when concerts come through there, they close them up. But when the Cowboys play, for some reason, Jerry won't do it. Don't know why. Because for such a long time we had a hole in the roof and that we couldn't take care of that.
It may be, and it might be an NFL rule too. You can't. I think, and this is just a guess. I don't think they can alter that after the game starts. I don't think they're allowed to.
Then close the blind. Then close it to the game.
That part I understand.
Because
or you should have built it to where that wouldn't be an issue too.
If they can pick the stadium up and turn it to the west a little bit, so the sun will come a different way, we'll be all right.
Do it like the Arizona Cardinals do. They bring in the field. I mean, and maybe you could just turn it and then bring it in.
There you go,
yeah. Everybody just move Cowboy Stadium to where the Rangers play. That's a better stadium anyway. So go ahead.
Yeah. Sooner or later, we will see that. I'm telling you right now, that's going to happen because that's too much of an issue. We're going to see.
I don't think so.
In the few, it's going to be a few. It'll probably be after we die. So old people.
So
all right.
That
takes us to the Dolphins and Patriots. Don't have a lot to say about this one either. I mean, by the way, though, don't sit on that Patriot defense. That defense is legit too. So obviously, I'm on the Dolphins just because. I mean, and by the way, I'm not a Tua hater. I was a Tua. He should not have started the game over Ryan Fitzpatrick guy. Not a Tua hater per se, or more so the fact they set it up for him to be the next Dan Marino. Those 2 points. I'm not a Tua hater. Hey, listen, Tua went off. He was amazing last week, but you got to make sure that you protect that guy because as soon as he takes one hit to the noggin, he might not be the same afterwards. So Cuervo, I'm going to hop back to the Dallas game since you're here. Dallas takes on the Jets. I mean, we just kind of stretched it because we're waiting for one Bryce to be late. I mean, be in here soon. What do you think about Dallas and the Jets, as far as the game is concerned?
We already talked about that one. I was there for
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you were here.
I'm all over Dallas.
Yeah, he checked out. He checked
Absolutely.
out after he made his thing.
Okay. All right. Very good.
You
All right.
should
So,
pay attention to your own show, sir.
By the way,
all right.
Bryce
I
is
know that.
scared today. Bryce
All right,
is
so the
scared
command.
today.
All right, then. So we're talking the Dolphins, Patriots, and then I forgot the Commanders. So we'll get back to that one in a minute. But
Nobody's
I
got
don't
the
really
Commanders.
talk about that one either. But all right. So Dolphins, Patriots. The Patriots defense is legit. Say whatever you want about their offense. The defense is legit. Are they going to be able to stop the Dolphins in reality, Cuervo, when you're looking at this game?
I think
is
it's
it
going to
just
be hard
too many
to,
weapons?
but that's most teams is going to be hard to stop that offense or slow it down with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Come on, I mean, how many corners are going to be able to stay with those guys? Either one of them.
Either one, exactly. Either one of them.
Yeah, I like Miami. I think it's going to be a close game, though. I think Miami may even have to come back in this game. I just, defensively, I don't know what happened to Miami last week. I think they gave up a lot more than I thought they would, and it was a high scoring game. It was Chargers Dolphins. Right. You expect that, but yeah, I think being in Foxborough, I think it's gonna be a closer game than a lot of people think it'll be.
Yeah,
but I think Miami gets it done in the end. And by the way, Obi, you remember those days a couple of years ago. Sonny 100% is a Tua hater. How many times did he use that picture of him sitting on the field?
I resent the fact that they were trying to make him the new Dan Marino. And by the way, I was right on that. So
nobody ever said that. The new Dan Marino.
I resented the fact that they were trying to make Tua the next Dan Marino. Just sitting out there staring off into space. I mean, you can't tell me that wasn't set up. It was set up, but I hated that part about it.
First of all, ever since Marino retired, every new quarterback that Miami has tried to bring in to be their leader, they've always tried to say, "This is our next Dan Marino."
Yes.
And 9 out of 10 times, if not 10 out of 10 times,
well, they had a chance to get their next Dan Marino, and they passed on him.
They did. They did. You're right, Cuervo. They had the next one. I'll say it, and your team even passed on him too.
Nope. See that? Nope. We're thinking of somebody totally different.
Who are you thinking? Oh, yeah, your boy Peyton Manning. That's right.
Nope.
That's right.
Nope. If you guys remember, certain San Diego Charger quarterback hurts his shoulder. They move on from him. There's 2 teams that are looking to sign him, but they're not sure about his shoulder. One was the Miami Dolphins. The other one, the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, Drew Brees. Yeah,
Drew Brees.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I was thinking draft in my mind. So there you go. Sorry about that. You're
Remember
right.
when Miami said no to Drew Brees? Yeah. That was the next Dan Marino.
Yeah, that was the biggest.
That's up there when the Cowboys said no when they said no to Randy Moss. So.
Well, and Jerry's been trying to make up for that for years and fell on his face trying to do that.
Well, he had it for a little while with Des Bryant, but that went south.
Yeah, until he hit his mother.
They never had that with Des Bryant. I'm sorry, they never had that.
They had the potential. They had the potential in that. Okay,
you have a lot of hope in this hand and a lot of shit in this hand.
I know which one. I get it. They had a lot of hope. Listen, you can be the biggest scum of the earth, but you don't hit your mother, and I don't care what it is. As soon as he hit his mother, I was done with Des Bryant. I can care less about him. That guy, you say all the great things you want about Des Bryant. He's an asshole. Yes, I use the word asshole. You don't hit your mother. I don't give a I don't care what she's doing to you. And so,
what if she's asking for it?
Huh?
What if she says, "Sonny, hit me"? I mean, you got to do what your mom says, right?
This was not in the realm of a wrestling ring, pal. Okay, this was a guy hitting his mother. I mean, a sad state of affair. I don't care what drugs she wanted or whatever the case may be. You don't hit your mother.
I would trade my mother in for a title. grandma's been dead for a while, so I mean they can have her. I mean,
Poor
whatever.
title. I love it. He's just unbelievable. I can't take him anywhere. I swear to God, I can't. He's just like anyway. But all right, so that's it. Dolphins, Patriots. Everybody on Dolphins, or anybody going to take the stretch on the Patriots?
I got the Dolphins.
Dolphins, too much speed.
Now, an interesting game is the Commanders and Broncos, by the way. It's interesting because it depends on what you think about Sam Howell, which, by the way, I'm not impressed. Okay? Simple as that. Russell Wilson, he didn't like, he didn't do anything to write home to mama about. However, it is in the right direction, right? You're seeing the slow progression of what Russell Wilson can be with his coaching staff, with his weapons. Listen, I told everybody about Sutton coming out of TCU. This guy is going to be a a superstar. Someone can deliver him the ball. Russell Wilson needs to find a way to get the ball to Sutton. I'm on the Broncos today. I'm not a Sam Howell fan. I'm not buying into the hype of who he is and what he did last week. So, Obi, what do you think about this one?
I don't think it's what you said about Russell Wilson. So we know Russell Wilson is a winner. Russell Wilson has been able to he's played in the NL for a long time. It's not about a progression. It's about he was up here, and then last year he was so god awful for the Broncos. Mm-hmm. Then now he's starting to get back to, not really. Hey, Russell Wilson, there wasn't really a wow factor last week. Just like Sam Howell, there was no wow factor. But they're playing in Denver. I think Russell Wilson has got it going back to the right way. I think this is an easy Bronco win today.
Cuervo, is it an easy Bronco win today?
Easy Bronco win. Wow. Okay.
That's what he said. That's why I'm stuttering over myself when I heard easy, because I may not be a Sam Howell fan, but say whatever you want about Chico's squad, they come to play. Now, they don't always win, and they may even lack in certain spots, but you're going to get a total effort from that football team in Washington, regardless who's quarterback. I mean, how many quarterbacks have they been through? They're always trying to win a football game.
Long list.
And sometimes they win against teams that are lacking in certain spots. I love it. I go back to Mr. Perfect spot. But that being said, what do you think about this one?
Well, I think the defense for Washington is definitely going to show up. So that's going to be the matchup I'm more interested in, is when Russ has the ball against that Commander defense, which, by the way, is getting the old Buckeye Chase Young back there.
Wow, that's right.
Getting Chase Young back today.
Chase is back.
Yeah,
I heard he was still questionable, but I guess if Cuervo says he's back, he's back.
Yep, that's right. If I say he's back, then he's back. No,
so that's it. Hey, he's back. Hey, say whatever you want. That's a big boost on your defensive side of the ball when you can get your superstar back. I mean, say whatever you want on who should be the superstar. Chase Young is that superstar on that team, and when you got your quarterback or your defense on the football field, it makes a difference.
One small thing that does concern me about the Broncos, though, is their tight end Dulcich is on IR. So, and I know he's not in Shannon Sharp, but he's a guy that Russ can go to, in the red zone and all that stuff. And he's not going to have him now. So there's no security blanket there, as we like to call tight ends, for Russ to throw to. So now he's going to have to rely on other options with Williams or with Sutton, or I think Jerry Jeudy's back today as well.
Jeudy's back too. Yes, that was another reason why I picked the Broncos in this one, because Jeudy's back too.
I like Denver to win today, because I need the house to feel like a home and not like like it's on fire. So that's what I'm hoping for. Broncos win, and I think they will. I think they'll get it done.
I'm looking at my picks in the thing. You know what scares me? I only got one underdog winning, and we haven't talked about Cincinnati and the Bengals or at Baltimore. Cincinnati's schedule is actually.
We got 10 minutes, Sonny.
I know. I'm trying to stretch it out, but don't look like it. But
I don't think we're getting
Cincinnati and
Bryce.
Baltimore. I don't think you're gonna make it either. Cincinnati and
scared to come
Baltimore. Yeah. Well,
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati and Baltimore. I'm going Baltimore. Just because it was a bad performance, they may bounce back, but I don't know if it'll be enough.
I'm going Baltimore because I don't think Joe Burrow is ready yet.
I don't know if that's just the difference between week one on the teams that we're playing. Obviously, but will Joe Burrow bounce back, Obi? I mean, he's your other Ohio team. I mean, not necessarily the Browns, but he's your other Ohio team. How do you feel about Joe Burrow going up against Baltimore today?
Yeah, Joe Burrow, the LSU Tiger.
Bengals win today.
Bengals. So he's on the Bengals. So that takes us to the last game, and we didn't get Bryce. I would love to.
Where's Bryce?
Someone needs to call and wake his ass up. I don't have his number. I only text him or message him. I don't have his telephone number to wake his ass up. But that being said, your Cleveland Browns against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I hate this because your Cleveland Browns are actually favored by 3.5 in this one.
At Pittsburgh, that's scary.
At Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh's a home dog, and I can't.
Scary.
That is
scary.
Again.
Yeah, they
were a home dog last week too.
It's like,
and they got shellacked. Can I go? Can I go?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. This is going to be, as always, a slugfest.
Right.
These teams hate each other. These teams always play each other hard-nosed. Score and the end score might not be indicative of it, but they always play hard against each other.
Right.
And this is just going to be. It scares me that the Browns are favored. Just scares me. But that defense was quite impressive last week. My Browns defense against Joe Burrow.
Right.
Yeah.
I think, and I'm going to use a pun here.
Okay.
The defensive coordinator for the Browns is going to unleash the dogs.
Oh, there
on the Baltimore Ravens. And the dogs, DAWGS.
Dog.
And on the Ravens and my Cleveland Browns lead Pittsburgh with a W.
I think you're right. Not only that,
by
the way,
damn it, don't pick my Browns,
Although I love the dancing on the defensive side of the ball. Did you see? Did you see that? I was almost going to put the Cotton Eye Joe in it as he was doing this back and forth thing.
Don't do that.
Don't do
that. We don't have time for that.
But that was the big talk of the week, man. In reality, it's just But here's my problem. Here's my problem. Okay, I hate the fact that Pittsburgh lost so bad. You know what I'm saying? They did not. They played. Angry.
They got embarrassed.
That was terrible. Crazy knucklehead is terrible.
It was terrible, and it was hard to watch. And I don't like teams' chances going up against Tomlin after they played as bad as they did. I hate that. However, God, I even hate picking the Browns. I hate the freaking Browns.
Sonny, give me 1 second, all right?
Maybe it's because it's Obi.
Okay. Look, here's the thing. Obi was right about what Myles Garrett's going to do to Joe Burrow, and he did it last week. What's he going to do to Kenny Pickett? He's going to kill him.
Well, that's why I'm on the Browns. I mean,
I know, but I'll say it for you. We're all picking the Browns, right?
I don't know. Cuervo, are you picking the Browns?
Cuervo is. Cuervo doesn't like my Browns. I just know it.
I don't like the Browns?
That's what I said.
I mean, I don't like the Browns
you
either,
sure
but I mean,
about
I'm
that?
saying.
I don't know.
Every time I pick a bet against the Browns, like in a game like today, I always lose the damn game. So that's why I'm going Browns.
Yeah, I
Have
think-
any rhyme or reason. What do you
So
think?
Hey,
Pick the
hey,
Steelers.
Obi, I think Sonny is the Mike Greenberg of our show. He's got the piece of that.
Well, he
I
is
know. I
annoying.
got all
He is
favorites
annoying. That's for
except
damn
Baltimore
sure.
today. I got all the favorites except Baltimore today, and that
Okay,
scares me.
gentlemen.
I'm going to have a shitty week.
Okay.
I already know it.
I got to check out if Bryce shows up. That chicken, you know what it is.
That
If he
chicken.
does show up, tell him I did call him that because I
Okay.
really wanted to go, but I got to get going. Okay.
All right, get out of here. Hey, make sure you remodel the house a little bit better. I think you should move the piano, okay?
Okay. You like that grand piano, don't you? We'll talk to you later. Bye.
The
Obi.
only background in what is it, Zoom or whatever? It's like it's the default background. Pick a better background. I'm gonna anyway.
I built my background. So I'm
Yeah,
good.
I know it's pathetic.
I don't have a background.
Yeah, I know. You could. You just didn't.
Time out.
change the
You
settings.
know, it's pathetic. I got the Blues Brothers up here. I got Jaws. I got Rocky. I've got
And the loser
my last
trophy.
place trophy.
Congratulations on that
Yeah.
loser trophy. That's
I like the
not a
Blues
trophy.
Brothers. I like the
Yeah.
Blues Brothers picture.
Well,
there.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're
so
on a
I
mission
got-
from God.
I mean, I got
Show them the
Jaws.
tattoo. Show them the tattoo.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I got my Danny White stuff there. I got my Superman poster behind me. So I mean, hey,
I got the schedule each and every week.
yeah,
Thanks to Cuervo,
because
by
you were
the
so
way.
original, sir.
Hey, it looks good.
Hey, Podfather, 106
Yes, sir.
miles to Chicago.
You got a full tank of gas and a half pack of cigarettes.
It's dark and we're wearing
Hit it.
sunglasses.
Awesome.
We must be at the top of the hour. The family's calling because we usually BS on the thing. I got to turn it off. But we got 5 minutes. So I'm on. God, I hate this. I hate pick. Because every time I freaking pick Cleveland, they freaking lose. Every time I do it. But Baltimore, and we just got a few more minutes. Are we sure? Everybody, I'm a Baltimore. Who are you on, Cuervo?
Cincinnati.
I'm on Baltimore because I don't think Burrows is ready yet.
I don't know. Maybe he needs a couple of weeks. I mean, he got all that money. Maybe he's spending a lot.
The money didn't do it.
Not studying the playbook. I don't know. But hey, man, how many times has he missed Jamar Chase as bad as he did last week? I mean,
It's because of the pressure. It was because of the pressure that he was getting from that defensive line of the Browns, which I think is going to happen again tomorrow.
But you say that, and here's Sonny saying it's the pressure for him picking that pen and writing that contract, signing that contract down, and because that's all Sonny's thinking about right now is, God, they paid $275 million for a guy who sat there and put up 0-1 stats or whatever. I'm like,
got his ass kicked.
He got his ass kicked. But here's the thing. He had one preseason game and he got knocked out, right? Because he got hurt. He hasn't really recovered from that. He was rushed to start the opening game because he signed the contract. So clearly he was not ready for this game. I think he's still 3 weeks away. Okay. And he's going to be a hard one to pick to see if he's going to be in or out of the game because he doesn't have the chemistry right now.
I can't believe I'm actually going to change my pick. I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable with Baltimore because Baltimore's never showed me anything. And Joe Burrow shows that he can. Now, granted, I don't know if he's not ready or whatever the case may be. It's hard to bet against him and Jamar Chase. Listen, the Baltimore defense isn't anything to write home to mama about. It's not like they're dominating anything. The only reason why I'm not going to change it is because they can't protect Joe. The guy gets sacked 9 freaking times in a game.
You got 2 minutes before you have to change it, so you better get it done now then.
Well, no, I can't change it. I don't think I can change it. I think it's 5 minutes before the game. I'm not going to change it because they can't protect the guy. I mean, how many times the guy gets sacked? They have no offensive line there. And Baltimore, they can get to the quarterback. They're not as great as they used to be. Let's not be under any illusion here. But they can get to the quarterback still, and that's why. I mean, the offense, the Baltimore or the Bengals had an opportunity to make themselves a mainstay for years if they went out and got some offensive line to protect this guy. I mean, the guy's running for his life each and every week. Are getting sacked and beat up every week, Cuervo. And they didn't do anything in the offseason to help that. I don't care how much money they just spent on him. They should have got some money in some offensive linemen.
They did. You talking about Cincinnati?
Yeah, but
Come on.
Oh wait! And who won that game last week? And Joe Burrow's running for his friggin' life.
But you said they didn't spend money. They went out and they signed Orlando Brown.
Okay, I guess I should have said they got the wrong one because it sure in the hell didn't look like.
You can argue that, yeah.
Yeah, it sure looked like it wasn't improved at all. But yeah, so that's the reason why I'm not going to change it because the sack master that and not only that. On these sacks, all these sacks, this guy's going to get hurt. I mean, he just signed the big contract like Aaron Rodgers got the big contract, and guess what? This guy's due to get hurt again. And, if you're not going to protect him or, not get enough talent to protect him, he's going to go down on one of these times and it's going to get his knee, his ankle, or whatever, and he's going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks. Minimum.
Sonny, football has started.
So what? If you want to go watch those damn games, go watch the damn games.
No, I got to go to work. So.
I know you do. I'm just giving you hell. All right, so Podfather, always a pleasure. Catch him on Thursday. He's got 2 shows on Thursday.
Yeah, I got that. I have an unnamed Dallas Cowboys show we're doing right now. We're still working on the
Dallas Cowboys show right now.
Right now, so the Dallas Cowboys video cast, I guess we're calling it right now.
Okay.
Then of course, got Offshoots TV. Every Thursday night, 9 p.m. And other than that, I do this show as well.
Good white noise, by the way, just to let you know.
That's right. I'm glad you appreciate that, sir. And also if you go over to YouTube, check out the Podfather channel. I got all my greatest hits. I've got all the things I'm a part of, and I'm putting parts of this show on there as well. So
cut it up. I don't mind.
Yeah,
I don't mind.
I'm putting the entire show on.
You don't have to ask me. I don't care.
I wasn't going to.
Yeah, I knew you wouldn't anyway, but it's an understood thing. No, anybody can use whatever.
I got your face there with the couch data thing, so trust me, you're getting plenty of promotion. And for my 3 subscribers, I have.
Adios, big man. Have a great night.
See you guys. See you, Cuervo.
All right, so Cuervo, we did it. We popped 3 hours fairly easy. It's just like it's easy during the NFL season. Cuervo, I'm nervous though. I am nervous about being on all the favorites except Baltimore. I don't know. Does that bother you? I mean, I'm not sure where you're at.
Are
you on most of the favorites today?
No, some dogs. I think it's a mix. For me, by the way, I'm taking Cleveland. I'm taking Obi's Browns tonight or for tomorrow night.
I'm on them. Yeah,
I'm going with the Browns. I just like the pressure that they're getting. Myles Garrett is played out of his mind last week. For me, I think today I'm going to call today Bounce Back Sunday because there's going to be some teams I think bounce back. Hopefully the Bears bounce back, but we'll see. But I think Cincinnati bounces back. I think that the Giants bounce back. I hope that Denver bounces back.
Me too. Just for home, tranquility.
Yeah, right. I think that Buffalo will bounce back against the Raiders at home. So there's going to be some teams.
Oh, we forgot about talk about that one. We didn't. Yeah, I'm on Buffalo on that. We did skip that one.
Right. So I think there's going to be teams that, last week was the week 1's a mirage, and it goes to prove. Okay, and I'm talking about my Bears here. I don't care. I've completely changed my mind, Sonny, on something.
I know you did, because you messaged it in the middle of the game.
Training camp and the preseason absolutely matter, because you look at what last week we just talked about. Joe Burrow, he played 1 game in the preseason, and that wasn't even the whole game. And you see how he performed week 1.
Yes.
So it's a trend. These teams that don't play their starters and everything in the preseason, you can tell who played and who didn't when week one
Why
happened.
hasn't it helped the Baltimore Ravens, who are like 27-0 in preseason?
Why hasn't it helped them?
I'm just shooting at you. I am
Well,
just
you know what?
shooting at you.
No, you know what? I
Does
mean,
it matter? I mean,
the
it doesn't
Ravens,
matter for it must not for all teams except the Ravens. So,
right? Yeah, I mean, okay. When it comes to record, that doesn't matter.
right, okay.
Records don't matter in the preseason.
Got it. Okay.
Everything else that goes into the preseason absolutely does matter.
Hey, Tom
Who
McManus
plays,
said
how
it
much
big
they
time.
play.
Go back and watch it. What he says about it's like a couple weeks ago. You go back and he's right there with you. Reps. You need reps. You need to be ready to go week number 1. Reps are a big thing. What's up?
Ooh, Bears almost had an interception already on Baker Mayfield.
Close, but no cigar.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah. Almost in horseshoes and hand grenades, right? Although I've never understood that saying. Close horseshoes and hand grenades. I don't get that saying.
Because you still get points if you're close.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And and hand grenade, you got to just get close. I get it now. Cuervo, you are a genius. Well, okay, I'm an idiot, so that I didn't figure that out. I never did. Thank you very much, man. I was afraid I wasn't going to learn something today, and Cuervo, you just did it for me. I appreciate that.
That's it.
All right, my man. All right, so that's going to do it for us on the Couch Potato Sports Show. All set and ready to go. Good luck. I hate this one dog. I'm all my picks are on the left-hand side, and my brother was bitching about that last week, and he did pretty well. So hopefully it goes again for a good second week. It wasn't really horrible. Although, man, I wish I would have picked the favorite in the Philadelphia game, and I didn't. I picked the damn. I don't know. I had a lot of trust in your Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins. By the way, Kirk Cousins, one of the toughest SOBs. Did you see the beating that guy friggin' took and got back up?
I watched that game. I still haven't. Before you ask again, Sonny, I have not watched the documentary.
Got to watch it. You want to see, and you'll see how tough that guy is, because we've seen how beat up this guy gets. And the cameras on that show really how beat up this guy got. And I'm already before this. I'm giving him the tough guy award. This guy's the toughest guy. And like you said, last week wasn't about Kirk Cousins being as bad as we know him to be in the past. I think he's ran past a little bit of that history that he's shown. So, it is there.
Mm-hmm.
So. All right, so I'm going to let you get to the games. I'm going to get to the games. I haven't walked over there to start watching. So I'm going to run over there and get ready for the NFL. Is there anything going on right now? Who's winning? Any big scores or anything?
Well, I'm zoned in on the Bears game, just the Bears game right now.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
I like what I see so far. They're getting pressure on Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see if that continues.
See if they can go full 4 quarters.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting. Alan Williams, the defensive coordinator, is out for personal reasons.
By the way, did they ever elaborate on what that really was?
No, we don't know about that one. But Nate Davis, who the Bears signed in the offseason, offensive guard.
Right.
A lot of Bear fans and the ones that judged him should be ashamed of themselves. Throughout training camp, he was asking for time away from the team and things like that. And nobody really understood why.
Okay.
But then today or yesterday, it came out that he most likely was not going to play in the game.
Wow.
Because of personal reasons. And then it came out, and this is why I try to hold off until we know what's going on with the person. When it's personal matter, it could be anything.
Absolutely.
And for him,
it could be a family person.
It was.
That's ill, and and he's not. And listen, that's almost responsible, knowing like whatever's going on, that he's taking the responsibility, because what they say in the NFL, out of sight, out of mind, right? You're not going to be, and he's taking that risk for whatever personal reason that may be. If and when it comes out on what it is, it could be someone who's very, very ill, is about ready to pass away, and he's just not there. That happens. And the NFL,
Well, that's exactly what happened to
you
him.
don't get the luxury of having that, like we do. If let's say my wife passed away, they're not expecting me at work. Things like
I would
that.
hope not.
Yeah. So the NFL's a little different. So, but it is what it is. All right, my man.
Yeah.
Enjoy the
that's
game.
exactly what happened to him.
So was it a family issue that
Yes.
he's dealing with? So yeah. So very responsible for him. Get someone in there who's going to have their full head in the game. I'm not there. That's tough to admit. I get it, especially on the NFL level of where it is.
Yeah.
So. All right, that's going to do it for us on the Couch Potato Sports Show. Enjoy the games. I wish we would have got Bryce from Brooklyn, but maybe he'll wake up here in an hour and go, damn, I missed it. All right, so we're out of here, everybody. Have a good one. Bye-bye.